You got my mic on? You guys ready? I can't come out unless it gets louder. I cannot come out unless it gets... The people, let's go! It's Sunday! Let's go! Come on, come on. I traveled all the way across this country for you, my people. Let's go! Hey, finally, let's go, let's go. All right, guys, how are you? First of all, thank you guys for coming. Despite the time change Sunday, you guys are here for the first part and hopefully all the way through. I want to give a big shout out to you guys for your continuing education. All right. And my people online, my live streamers, my people of the page, I see you out there. Thank you for requesting this live. Big shout out to Groomers Pro for this space. I know that you all are not here, but the ones that are here, isn't this amazing? You get to walk in here. This space is industrial. It's nothing but the best. I require excellence. And meeting Marco 3 years ago, this guy here, the one thing that stuck out about Marco and Groomers Pro was this. He said to me, Jess, I don't care what goes on today. I know we're just meeting each other, but whatever makes the groomers happy, you do it for them. I don't care what it is. And that thoroughly impressed me. So, without further ado, big thanks to Groomers Pro and, of course, my fave, Nature's Specialty, offering 30 years of solutions for us and our little babies. And last but not least, I know that we are all small businesses. We all know that, right? We start small, we get every small business needs a little bit of help. I want to give a big shout out to Nexus, right? Because without them, we can't produce these live streams. And because you asked, they said yes. And that's a good support for us to be able to get this education out to everybody. Lithuania, Canada right now is watching, all the way to New York to LA, and then my people right here on the stage. Here we go. All right, so what is this about? This is about back to basics. A lot of people don't realize that 50% of that groom is your prep. It is your prep. We are artists of the skin, the coat, and everybody wants to get to those Instagram, Facebook pictures, right? Without, like it's like when you go in person right here. This is not filtered. This is live, right? Still not filtered at home. Live. And now you say to yourself, I want to look my best. You want to do that for your dogs, right? You want them to look their best. Because if your clients or the ones that you service every day, your personal, whatever you're doing as far as working with an animal, the whole thing, the main thing you want to worry about is experience first. Really what they need is their nails cut. They need their paw pads done. They need their sanitary done. They need things to survive every day like us, like brushing their teeth, cleaning their ears, the basics. That's what I call the vitals. Everything after that is really just building up a nice sundae with a little bit of sprinkles, extra fudge, whatever you like. Now, I know you say, what is this? Is this about like food here? But a lot of the things correlate to each other, right? So whenever you're preparing a dish, there's several steps to it. You don't just take a chicken and just throw it in the oven and say, this is good. Well, she does it that way. I'm going to do it that way. There's several ways to prepare something. So what I want to impress upon you in Back to Basics is let's get back to basics and go through several different ways of how we can do it. My preferred method today is going to be the new iteration of it, right? Frothing. Through Nature's, the way we got hooked up is they said, we love your videos. We love what you're doing. Can we make a shampoo for frothing? And I go, yes, this is it. They're hearing us. This is the new way to do it, right? How many of you still use a rotary phone, right? You pick it up. It's got that cord. It's all raveled up. And you're like, hello? Hey, Mike, we're going. Nobody does that anymore, right? You pick up your phone and you go, what's going on? How you doing? It's me. That's how we operate now. There's been an evolution within that tool. So how come in grooming, we still do mixing bottles. Most groomers now don't know 50 to 1, 40 to 1, 20. Well, they don't know anything about dilution rates. If I had to be honest with you, it took me a long time to learn that myself. So when frothing came along, and it wasn't something that I did not create frothing. I discovered frothing and then ran with it and tested it. And I said to myself, this is amazing. Not only is it amazing, but it's fun. So then when Nature's came along and said, we love it. You do this all the time. And I have my coffee frother, and I'm doing this, and I have my immersion blender, and I'm doing all these fun things one-to-one. I noticed the main change was the experience of that particular pet that I was working on, whether it be a cat or a dog, right? You get your first little puppy in, and that little puppy is scared, it's shaking. The minute you blast it with water, they're shocked. So when you froth, I mean, it is a luxury experience that is streamlined, and it's the most, in my opinion, efficient way to handle all of our problems. Cross-contamination, product, application, rinse out. There's so many ways. I've never heard anybody in my 20 years upon grooming say to me, hey, Jess, I really love my mixing bottle. Those mixing bottles, they're the best thing that I've ever had in my life. I can't live without my mixing bottle. I've never heard a groomer say that, right? So I present to you now the newest iteration, the egg, right? This is not being sold here. This is a tool that I'm using because we are not there yet. We're there with the process of frothing, but we still haven't gotten the most perfect version. And I'll show you, there are many different iterations. If you look at this, Nature's heard me when I was talking about the coffee frother, and they made this wonderful. You stand there and you can froth the actual shampoo. And this was great. But then I said, wait a minute. My good friend Christy Henriksen said, I said, what is that thing you're using? She goes, it's the egg. You don't know about the egg? I said, I don't know about the egg. I want to know about the egg. And then, while I'm prepping, this thing does it by itself. And I said, oh my goodness, this is it. So even within the froth nation is where I call it. You're all going to be frothaholics when you leave. I'm sorry. You'll have to go to meetings for frothing because you'll want to do it all the time. So we have more tools. It keeps on going faster and faster. So right now, the most current tool that I like to use is an unofficial, not made for dog grooming. It's called the egg. They make it. They have it on Amazon. You can have it. It's not about that. It's about how we got there. So now, we go in, and I do this all the time. This is like the best Costco thing that I've never gotten but always wanted to do. All right? So you come in, and you say, all right, I've got my mixing bottle. I'm going to do 50 to 1. Nobody knows what they're doing anyways, right? They want to make sure they have this coat type, and they're like, all right, I got to get it soapy because we know soap equates to clean and suds. That's what we know, right? We're going to clean. If we get suds, we're cleaning. But that's not necessarily always the case. So let's go into this. It's Sunday. Are we all awake? Are we all with it? Anybody that has any questions here, I want to interact. This is a class for you to learn. This isn't for me to just keep on showing this wonderful technique I have. So feel free to ask questions, and online, you as well. Ask me questions. Now, you go in, you prepare your shampoo. Is that correct? You do it, it's there, you've done all your mixtures that you feel are correct. Now, when you have a salon, anything let's just go right to the dog, right? Once you have a dog, that dog specifically has a different coat. Each dog has a different coat. Even if you have a Bichon, a Westie, anything, a Shih Tzu, Bouvier, Poodle, all different types of coats, all. So to me, I say, well, if this is a one-size-fits-all, right? Look at me. If you put me in a one-size-fits-all, what's going to happen? It's going to look very weird, right? I need custom because I'm a different breed. So this breed of pet comes in, you have your one-size-fits-all. What do we all do? Get them in the tub. Everything's great. You have all your preparation like so. You start doing this, right? This is what happens to the dog. Put it on the dog, and you say, this is great. You start rubbing, 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 rubbing. And then what happens? You keep on rubbing, and then you keep on adding more, more, more. And where is everything going, guys? Where do you see that this water is going? Right down the drain. There is no way for me to effectively say to you, okay, so there's this much shampoo here, this much. Is it effectively mixed? When was this made? Was it made in the morning? Now, you and I both know we're all groomers, and groomers hate to waste product, including myself. So now, if I were to come in after working this, and let's say I'm in my salon, hypothetically, and I see this there, I say to myself, oh my goodness, there's 28 ounces of product here. I'm not going to just dump this. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to look around. It smells clean. We all do the same things. Trust me. That's why you're all laughing here, right? So then we go, this is a lot. It smells good. It looks fresh. You're doing all the visual diagnostics, as they say, right? But you don't really know what's going on in that mixing bottle. So we'll go to this in a second. Now, once you get in, you say, I'm not doing it. Everybody's going. You get the dog going. The dog comes out. Everything is your process is the way you know it to be. You get a call. The next day, about 9:15, bring, bring. Hello? What happened? Oh, do you know what happened to my dog yesterday? He's itching a lot. What do you mean it's itching a lot? Did you do anything different to my dog? And you say no. And in the groomer's heart of hearts, you're right. You did nothing different, right? You did nothing. You had your shampoo, you had your conditioner, you had everything going. Good experience. And now you get this call and you're like, oh, people, this is why I don't like this. And you go through all the reasons why you're starting to get butthurt, that something's wrong with this dog. And you're like, I didn't do anything different. But did you realize that maybe this cap was a different cap? When this was being made, this cap had bacteria. Went over here, that dog, seasonal allergies going on, normal to them, and then you actually applied it to their coat. All the bacteria, and that little bacteria went rampant on that, got into that hot spot, and that dog got clean, and then it was all dried, and it felt a little dry, and started to lick, right? That dog started to lick, and what happens? They start to create something that maybe was little, and they make a little mole into a big mountain, a big problem. Then so then what happens is the groomer gets back, and then it goes into the vet, and then I go online and I see it, all these, groomer sites. This happened, and then the person's thing is all like scratched out, and everybody's complaining and venting about it because they're like, I just can't believe people. But wait a minute, let's stop and let's go back to our process. Have you guys ever lost your keys and blame everybody, and then the keys are like right here, and you're like, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It happens all the time. It happens all the time in our shops, in life. So that one step from not wanting to throw out product and not efficiently knowing that there was cross-contamination is already really the number one reason why I feel you should froth. Now, a lot of people tell me, I have my big buddy up here, Ludo. This is a big boy. Now, this dog, stand them up for a second so you can see. I want everybody to see this boy. Come on up stage. He's a good boy. He hangs out with me. Now, this dog here, you say, well, how am I going to take that egg? Are you egg crazy? And this little thing, what's going to happen here? One time. It's going to take me 17 of these. Now, Liz, do you froth him?
I have, yeah.
She has. Okay. Now, you say, okay, Jess, but you never talk about, and look at this coat. This is a nice coat. There's not one mat knot in it. It's well maintained. But this is work. So I get a lot of groomers telling me, she's crazy. She's got a one-on-one. She's got an assistant. She's got an egg. Oh, this is easy for her. It's too much time for me. Thank you, Mr. Ludo. He's a good boy. And so what do I say is, go to your bathing systems. The reason why bathing systems are a hypothetical, like, is because groomers, my people, I love you, but y'all don't always clean your things. You're not cleaning. You're not doing 256 in the hose. You are cross-contaminating because you just want to hit that bathing beauty and let it start running to make your jobs easier. Timing is money. Money is tight. And we all want to get them done. But don't forget why we do this. We do this because of our passion for animals. So why do we want to streamline this? If you were eating this and we go back to our food, right, and we say, okay, we're preparing sushi, would you want sashimi that's kind of sashimi'd out? It smells, it stinks? No. You want the best stuff to go into your body. So as groomers and pet stylists and professionals, our main thing is to give them the best that we have. And as the years have gone by, we know better, we should do better. And we're doing better. But there's always an old groomer that goes, well, I like my mixing bottles. I don't want to play around with that egg. I got to charge that egg. That's okay. We can do different things, right? You can do it this way. You can have an immersion blender, and you could also have a bathing beauty system or recirculating bath. The only there is make sure, remember what happened to that lady that called. You can cross-contaminate. So I don't always promote that. I promote more of the froth because it's a la carte. What is another reason why the froth is good? Now you have the Bichon that comes up and it has, or Westie, brown little feet, there's browning in the face, it's got a hot spot, and you want to optically brighten that coat. So what do? You put brightener in here, you start it up, put it inside the egg. Look at how nice. There it goes. And all of a sudden, we'll use a nice example here. Look at how easy this is. That's it. I am not looking, I'm not double it, just about a quarter size, an ounce to about an ounce of water you could do, an ounce to about 4 ounces of water. Now, put this on, and as I speak to you, this is like Rosie from the Jetsons. She came in here and she goes, now, she's unbelievable. Look at this, jambalaya. There it is. And this is happening while I'm prepping the dog, putting the dog in the tub, getting it all set. We're going to go to that. And that's it. It's all set. So when I hear that groomers tell me that this is too difficult for them to do, I say, are you kidding me? So here's the first process of frothing. Now I'm going to take this and put that on the paw and say, hey, what happens? What happens when you do a treatment to a dog? They go like this, and they're moving. Where's that froth going? On my arm. Remember when we started, what happened to the mixing bottle? Now this is a treatment, right? This is Dermadyne from Nature's Specialty on that bulldog's paw. That poor bulldog, meh. Maybe they'll get a little bit of that treatment going, but they're not going to get the full effect of what happens here. So easy rinse out, double multiple treatments, fun to do, easy, fresh. Whee! I should have done it on top of my head, right? This is great. That's what I'm talking about. It sticks. You are taking this shampoo, this little bit of shampoo, which was not formulated for frothing, by the way. It's not even at its heightened and thickened. Look at this. And this was maybe a quarter size. I can do a whole Yorkie with this. I can do a whole Maltese with this, right? And it only a little, just take a little bit. Okay. Now, I've been in California here, and I've been touring a couple of grooming salons, seeing a couple of my friends. And as this has been happening, I'm sitting, I'm observing. The best thing for me to be an educator is to see how everybody's kind of working in their spaces, right? Because everybody could watch, but what are they really practicing? So I go to this salon. I'm not going to say who, where, what, when, and I'm watching. And this young lady, young groomer, I've seen her compete. She's an awesome groomer. But now I get to see the behind the scenes, how she's prepping. You know, okay. So I'm saying, wow. And I'm sitting there and I'm just observing. I went to the bathroom. I did a lot of things within this little small dog. Think about a miniature poodle, puppy size, about 6 inches of coat. Okay, we're going to get this dog bathed. Fine. So what ends up happening? I do all these things, and at some point, I stop, and I keep seeing a rinse out. And I stop, and I sit down. I'm sitting on a table, and I'm watching. This just happened. And watching, and I turn over to a friend of mine, and I say, am I missing something here? I know I've been grooming almost 20 years, coming up on 20 years this month. And I'm saying, wait a minute. I am the frothing queen. This is what I'm here for. What am I missing? Why? And remember, I'm mobile, so I have a different process. I have to be quick, efficient, and move to my next stops and give a luxurious experience. So it has to be smart, not hard. I've synthesized that. I'm in my space. Coming out of my space, I'm watching this. Young groomer, dog. I'm keep watching, and I'm saying, what is going on here? Is this like a special hydro bath that I don't know about? And I'm saying, what's going on? So I ask, and I say to this young lady, can I ask you a question? How come you're using all that water? What's going on over there? And is there something I don't know? Because I didn't want to come to you guys and like not know something. And you guys like, well, what about that special? And I'd be like, huh? I don't want to seem old, guys. I got to keep up with the times here. So in that and watching that, I ask her, and she says to me, well, this is my process. I mean, we charge an X amount, and we have a luxurious bath, and she's explaining it, and I say to myself, wow, what a religion she has to her process. And that is beautiful to see in a young groomer. Really it is, because she took it so seriously, but I still could not understand what was going on. I was completely like, oh my goodness. And she says, oh, I clean in the leather of the ear, and a lot of groomers miss this, and it's dirty. And she's telling me I've been grooming dogs for 20 years, and I'm saying, I know that. I know all the things, but what's going on with this water consumption? What's happening here? Now, mind you, this is a puppy, and we're talking about experience, right? So we know I have children. So when I bring my son to get his haircut, he wants to go in and out. Quick, mama, get it done, get on his tabby, right? It's the same with puppies. They want to get in the tub, get out, and you want to train them that this is a quick, efficient process, and the experience is what is really poignant, especially for puppies. And this puppy was used to this, so nothing bad was happening. But it could have been so much more less. So I asked the key question, the $1 million question. What do you think I asked her? Anybody? What do you think I asked her? Why are you frothing? Why aren't you frothing? What's happening here? And she says, well, I put conditioner in the code, and this is this, and that is that, and I'm using this thick conditioner, and it's a lot, and it's heavy. And I go, okay, but why aren't you frothing? I promise you, how long was that water going? 20 minutes? I promise you it was about a 20-minute rinse out and a lot of water. I'm appalled. I can't even, I was all asleep last night over it. A lot of water. And I just said to myself, she says to me, wait for it. Don't fall asleep on this. I said, how come you don't froth? And she goes, takes too much time. I nearly had a concussion. I would have fallen off the table if I didn't have to come here because I was like, time. What do you mean? This takes 2 seconds. And if it's the thickest conditioner, we've done shampoo, right? All right. So while I speak to you, and this is so thick that I have to move it with the water. But look, guys, here's the rinse. And we will do this on a real dog. Promise. But look, I don't have running water here. I'm doing this with a mixing bottle. How easy was that rinse out? This is just shampoo. Okay, we're talking about conditioner now. Let's move to conditioner because frothing, not only is frothing, there's many reasons, but really the je ne sais quoi about frothing is the conditioner, right? You guys go out, it's Friday night, and you do a lot. I know all about the things. One thing you do, right? You put this in your mixing bottle, and this is what happens. It looks like what the doctor tells you. You have fat in your gut, and it looks disgusting. It does not look like, or it could be last night's tequila and a little bit of pop. I don't know what you were eating. So basically, this is exactly what was happening in that salon. Really nice, thick conditioner, because why do we use conditioner? What's the point, right? I don't need this, and it is not an option. Once you strip, okay, you take whatever shampoo you're going to use to prep your coat, aka your canvas, aka your food, whatever it is you're using to prep. Once you strip out all of those, your clarifying and all of the oils and the dirt and all of the things, that's it. It needs, just like anything, you have those chapped, ashy legs. Once you strip your skin and you wash yourself, you need to add lotion. You need to add conditioner because your hair follicles are not happy. You got to close them up, lock them in, seal them in with a little moisturization, and then you're good to go. It allows for a healthy skin, healthy coat, and we move on. A lot of people skip that step because they don't like this. It reminds them of a bad Friday night. Too much, not good. It's all in there. And so this was what was happening. So she tells me 20 minutes of rinsing, and I cannot even imagine how many. I said 2 gallons of water. She says it was more. But I was being really nice about it, and I said, oh, my goodness. Imagine the bill in that grooming salon in L.A. Not only is it expensive to park, expensive to eat, everything's expensive here. Then you have a water bill because 20 minutes, it's a luxury process. But guys, did anybody tell you that frothing is not a luxury process? It is the most luxurious process. It feels smooth. It feels so effervescent in the coat. Makes everything light and easy. Now, what do we have here? Oh my goodness, look at this. Bubbles. And remember your Friday night. Do you ladies, sorry gents, want to do this all night? You already have to take care of what you have to take care of at Sorry, I know you're awake. You already have to do this. You're on your phone scrolling. You're cleaning the leaves. You have a lot of wrist action going on. Carpal tunnel sets in. Why do you guys want to do this all day long? This is not what we want. Why can't we just make it easy, groomers? Come on. Let's do this. Do you want to dial up, right? Do you have that DSL dial up? No, we're Wi-Fi right now. We go in, we come in, and look. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Hello. Why is this so hard? I don't know. It takes too much time. And did this take a lot of time? No. Remember, we've already surpassed this. If you don't like this, you can do this. And you can froth it up this way. But remember, this is conditioner now, guys. From where we started in the beginning, remember that bad night. This is conditioner. Look at the lather. Now, if you make this warm, just a nice warm lather and froth it up, and you put this on a dog, I promise you, if you've never heard a dog talk, they go, oh, do it to me again. And I look at the dog and I go, you like that? And they go, it's not vocal. It's not vocal. You guys all know, you're all groomers. You're groomers out there. You understand what I'm saying. There's an ease to them. That it eases them down. It's warm. And that the best part is, as it slinks down, easily rinsed out the coat. Smells, it's beaten to a pulp. It's at its highest potency. And now, the one thing you can do, if you have a dog as big as Ludo or big dogs, right? You take that and put it into your mixing bottle. No problem. Use a funnel. Not bad, Jess Adorno. Not bad. Put it in there, okay? But even if I wasted this much, it's not as much as what was happening before, right? Okay, so now, remember, girls, no more of thisy. Now, all you have to do is put that on and look. Even if it falls down and falls off the coat, you want conditioner to spread evenly. You want the conditioner to be really, really thin enough to get into that sebum layer, to get into that skin, but then ease off the coat so that when you're sifting and you want that beautiful picture, Remember, if you put the work in on your base and your prep, that cut and style will just flow with it, right? This isn't hard for me because this is what I love. I do it every single day. I didn't have to prepare for this. I do this all day long. So, any questions so far, guys? Yes? Ah, there she is with the coat. I'm going to bring out my girl in a minute, Tequila. Now, Tequila's coming out. She's a little crazy. She's a little bit like me. She's got a little bit of shaved ears. She's got a little afro going on. It's the mohawk. It's great. They picked great dogs for me. Okay, why do we put it on a dry coat? Because think about Stranger Things. You know when they were burying those demogorgons and they were going and you didn't want them to come up? Now, think about a hole. You have a hair shaft, a follicle, right? The minute that you have that hole and it's ready to be clean, if you saturate it with water, it's already starting its process, but there's dirt in there as well. So I really say this, I'm an obsessive compulsive frother. I am a geek of shampoo. I am the top geek. At the end of the day, guys, shelter dogs, dogs off the street, this is like high-end luxury, right? So I don't care which way you really do it. I want you to do it the right way on a dry coat, dry application, but the main important thing is that they're getting done. If it's getting froth and you put it on wet and you make a mistake, who cares? These dogs are still getting the best of the best. So back to my analogy here. So now the hole is open and it's drowning in dilution already, right? So the main thing is you want to be able to take that coat, and as I've been talking, the froth is still alive. And I have diluted it. Do you see this? The froth still lives on. It still lives on, proving my point here. There's no trickery. This is not Vegas. It's California. Chris Angel's over there, 4 hours away. Okay? All right? And I'm a groomer. I'm not a magician. And it's happening in front of your eyes here. And what I have to tell you is this. If you put it on the hair shaft and the follicle, you have time in that hole to coat it, to clean it, to wipe it, right? So think of this as a hair shaft and follicle. You're already able to take all those dirt, the oil, the dander, and move it up to the top of the layer. Okay? Then you're going to take that froth and really work it through. It's going to come in a second. And after that, easy rinse out. So you're taking your process, you're doing it right, fast, smarter, not harder. All right? Whereas I'm saying you're diluting it, you're going it, you're doing 15 steps. I'm telling you, hit live, go live to the people of the page. Why do we have to go through AOL, DSL? Streamline it, guys. This is the new way to doing things. Does anybody, we work with it. You guys don't like corded clippers, do you? Nobody likes a corded clipper anymore. Why? Because you want the ability to keep on moving, to work with two groomers, to work on one side, the other side. This gives you the ability to be able to do 3 treatments, 4 treatments. And not only that, if you have a shop or in a situation where you need to have double tub time or you need the tub, you can do this right on your tables. I'm going to do it here so you guys can see it. I'm ready for Miss Tequila. Tequila to the front room, please. It is time, Tequila. Come to the front room. So that is why you put it on the coat dry. Oh, look at this. This is better than Costco. You guys have really proven that this is better than Costco. These girls here are great. So now, back to my story about Froth Tails. Froth Tails comes along and they say, listen, we have this, we want to make shampoo. And I says, okay, make the shampoo. Come on, Tequila. And they send me the first iteration, and I go, this is great, it smells good, but what is so proprietary about this shampoo versus anybody else? This is my people. They're going to tell me, Jess, well, why should I buy this when I want to buy that? And why should I, what is the difference between this special shampoo? You know what the difference is? I sent it back, and I said, give me something that really makes sense. And they said, they're going to ask me why. What is the difference between Froth Tails? Avocado oil, olive oil. Enriched for the coat, everyday shampoo. If you forget to do your conditioning, if you have a novice bather or someone and you don't rinse it out, it's still going to saturate that coat and it's not going to hurt them. And it's a true frother because it's a 50-to-1. In the Froth Tail shampoo, there is little to no water. So what you're getting is 50 gallons of shampoo and then you're frothing it. Now, Miss Tequila, let's go. All right, she's up. Now, I don't have a lot of time to do this, so let's go. All right, give me some extra water here. I'm going to clean this out. Tequila, you good? Any questions while I do this? Don't you go anywhere, baby. Don't you go. This is so you guys can see. Let me put her down here. I'm going to loop her while I get this done. And by the way, Jelly Pet, look at how easy this is. I'm going to tell you that there are a lot of loops out there. The reason why I love this Jelly Pet is because it's simple. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. She's like, hey, girl, what's happening here, mommy? But look at how easy that was. See what I'm saying? Work really smart, not hard. And here we go. I'm going to latch her. She's okay. You're okay. You want to come up now? Thank you very much. Okay, don't show your butt to the people. That's rude. That's rude. All right, going back to my egg. She's secure now. All right, I'm going to start. I'm right in my mobile. Here I go. I pick my shampoo of choice. I'm going to say, I want to do Poppin' Blueberry. Here it is. Now look here, guys. That's it. That little bit. Think of a quarter size, just to start. Dog like this. If you feel you need a little bit more, put a little bit more. Now, remember, all of our water situations are different, so you do have to play with this. This is a trial and error, okay? I'm going to do it. Took so long. So now, when you see a froth tail shampoo, and if you really look, you'll start to see the oils and everything in it. So, what is proprietary to froth tails? It has the highest formulation made for your bathing systems and for frothing. But you can froth anything, and I want you to froth everything. Sit down. There you go, mommy. Very good. Now, here it is. As she's looking around saying, what's happening? Yes, you're going to get wet. You're naked in front of everybody. I understand that. That's why she's upset. Now, this is going here. Look, now, you're okay. You're okay. Now, I'm relating to my dog. I'm cutting nails. I'm looking at the previous grooming, and I'm saying, oh, that wasn't even a minute. Was that hard, guys? That's it. One hand in the middle of a showroom. Here it is. This gets, put it down, twist off, and we're ready to go. Here are all the bubbles. Okay? And now, she doesn't know me. I don't know her. She's in the middle. She's like, am I going to get wet here? This is what I'm saying. She's not going to be in a lot of water, right? Because we're going to start at the base of the head and come down off the body. Look at this. Can we get oohs and ahs when it goes down? Ready? And ooh. Ah, that's interactive. Now, as I start, oh, it's warm. Oh, tequila. Now, here it is. This is the point if you have a puppy, whatever you have going on, if this is a new experience, then this is where I could say, okay, I want to spot treat something. Pick it up, put it in here. You realize that she's not being oversaturated with water. It's not being sprayed in her face. She has a little bit of browning in between her eyes over here. I can just take a little bit after this and put another treatment on her face and charge for a paw berry facial through Nature's Specialty. That is a new service I'm offering today, right? Make it up, guys. This is what I'm saying. So be creative. Part of being a business owner is to be creative. I told Marco I want to come here, and I said, well, I need excellence. Be creative. I need I need it all. I need it all. I want it all. He goes, okay, Jessica, but that is what it is, guys. When your clients push you to do better and to do bigger things, do it, because you never know what's going to come out of that. Now, here we go. Any questions as far as application on her? Working it into her coat. Now, look, as it's falling on the towel, look, this isn't even a mess here. So if you have your grooming table going and you say to yourself, oh, this dog, like I do weekly bulldogs, if you follow me, you see them all the time. Those boys, sometimes they need treatments, right? One needs a 25-minute treatment. I'm mobile. How do I justify that? Keep charging for that time. But because there's two of them, I can take one, really get them saturated and put their paws in and make it. Now we're going to make, all right, I need more. No problem. It doesn't matter. You just put a little bit of water, right? Look, not even thinking about it. Put this right up, squeeze. Yep, there it goes. You guys with me? And keep it. Now, she's been shaking since the beginning. And you know your clients will say, you guys are groomers, you know, oh my gosh, she's cold. She's not cold. There's not a lot of level of water on this dog, right? So now, if you have a super dirty dog, a lot of people say, well, should we do 2 baths, 1 bath? Listen, this will, look quick, this will do the job, no problem. But you can add a sponge to this. You can add something like this, a texturized, this is through Blackworks, saturated, and then if you have an area, if you want a wet brush, then work it through the coat. Look, all of your product. Where's the product going, guys? On this dog, right away. Look at her, go. Now, spot treat the face. Anybody have those Shih Tzus with those bulging eyes that you're like, oh my goodness, their retinas, they're going to get burned? Look, are her eyes even being affected? No. So tell me, versus what this is happening, look at the difference in this. Look at the difference in this. You know, and I'm being really gentle with her, but I've seen it at shops. They're coming, you know, and over moving the dog. And I see people are laughing because you see it. And, you know, and then you get upset with the dog, you're like, stop moving. But look at the, stop moving. And then what happens? This is a typical, like in a Latin family, like this is it. If it doesn't sud and you don't get suds, this is what happens. Ponle más, ponle más. They go, put more. And you're like, yeah, yeah. And you go in your bathing room and you're like, what is happening here? And you're like, I'm doing it. This dog is really not getting clean. And you're like, and as a business owner, all you see yourself at Nature Specialties, at the show, at the Pasadena show, you're going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So this is, now let's say we're doing a treatment on her. She's sitting here. She's just fine, guys. Look. Not oversaturated in water. This is all product going to work on Miss Tequila. And here it goes. Ready? Do the ooh and the ah. Come on, stop it. Ooh, ah. And here it is. I'm able to control this. Now, let's say that she has a mat, right? That happens a lot. Doodles. You're able to open this up, open the mat, and work it through. Work it through with conditioner. Work it through with product. Okay, so has anybody found any reason why we should not froth? Does anybody have any objection to this at all? Now, coming over, giving her more of an experience, and here it goes.
What do you do for thicker coats like that shed, like husky?
Okay, this is a great question. So the question is, what do you do as far as frothing for a thicker coat? An Akita, a Pug, great process. Do your de-shed, right? Pick your favorite shampoo company, do your de-shed process, open, close, open, all right? So perfect example. Take the dog. We're going to bring her down here. I'm going to start rinsing her because you guys get the demo. We don't have to leave you up here all naked, getting all wet. So now let's say, gosh, good girl. Told you she's a little bit like me. She's a little rough. So let's say you have this open, close, to de-shed. What does that mean? You want to open up the follicle, close it, and then open it up again. In that process, when you have a coat that needs to be shed, you do the conditioner. Froth it up or put it in your bathing system. Condition them out, okay? And then do your wet brushing, just like this. Get it through that coat, all right? Take it off, rinse, close it, put your shampoo in again. Because you're not using copious amounts of shampoo and conditioner, you're able, because of frothing, because of the formulations, to do this quick. Quick de-shed, come in with your wet brush that you like, get that de-shed, shampoo it, close it. Then come back in, open it up with conditioner, and finish off. So you're able, just like a medicated treatment or anything that you're doing to help that specific dog, you're able to control it way better as far as using froth and or your bathing system. If you do a mixing bottle, you're going to pound the coat specifically in an area here or here that might just have too much product. And then what do we have? The 20-minute rinse. The 20-minute rinse off. Now you see here, look at this. It's coming right off. This is not a running tub. And look, ooh. Now, let's do conditioner. All right? What's the question? You can froth anything. You can froth pre-mixed shampoos, but remember, the main thing you want to do is not cross-contaminate. So as long as it's made fresh throughout the day, you can pre-mix all your stuff and then froth it. That's not a problem. But make sure that you're doing a good rinse out. Here it goes. She's midway through the bath. I have one hand on her. There goes a little bit of conditioner right over here. And now, whoop, that's done. Got more over here. And now a little bit of water. That's it. Now one hand. She's not looped. They say this is too hard. And I'm doing it right in front of you. I'll separate it. I'll close it. One hand. Start it. Where has that been hard? And I say to myself, that 20 minutes and really feeling the dog to feel if it's clean and if that gets out and that anxiety that you might get the call that the dog is too heavy. Or if you're a bather and you have a groomer waiting for it and they're about to compete with this dog and they're like, this dog's coat is so heavy. Didn't you rinse out the conditioner? All of that happening. Look, 1, 2, 3. Eliminate it. Oohs and ahs. Oohs and ahs. Here she goes. This is nice and warm. Right to the back of the head. Ooh. Ah. Now this is conditioner now. Okay? And as the conditioner goes into her coat, look at how I take her from the back and lather. Work it through. Work it through. Give her the treatment. The experience. Remember, now this is all conditioner. And now because it's conditioner and it is the thicker of the two and everybody gets scared, add more water to her now. Now, once you apply it, once this goes over her coat and you saturate it with water, it's still getting into the coat and it's still thinning itself out and it's still working. So work it through. You smell so good. You smell so good. You're all right? You're okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a great question. So the question is, when you have a shop or a salon, or your procedure is to express anal glands, what do you do in that process? Same thing. It's a part that's about to get really dirty and stinky real hard, real quick. You already know that. So if you know, I have specific dogs in my lineup that have anal gland issues, specifically Shih Tzus, things of the such. Now, I will pre-froth a detox, an apple barkling cider, our newest from Nature's. I will do a clarifying shampoo that will eliminate smell right away, because that's going to be the deciding factor. You put that dog back there with that smell, and what happens? What happens? You didn't do the right job, and you can do the most beautiful haircut, right? Like you can have the most beautiful shear, but if it goes to the wrong sharpener, bye-bye. So this is what I want you to do. A dime size, froth it up, put it in a little cup, have a little cup right there, and say, this is an anal glands person. Not person, dog. They're people to me. Now, have that there, pre-soak. It's okay to remember, there's always a gray. There isn't always a black or white with this. There's a trial and error. The gray here is that you have to get this clean, and if you want to pre-moisten and wet it and get it like just prepare that area. I don't want to keep saying moist and anal glands. It's a lot. Okay, lift up, get it ready, and then express. Once you express, rinse out, and then go back into the froth. Okay? That's all. It's just a separate process. But remember, it doesn't become something that's, oh my goodness, out of this world, and become time consuming because you have that froth. So just 1, 2, 3. And if you want to do that in an isolated kind of a coffee frother and do it separate, it's a process, guys. If you're preparing to paint the wall, you can't just say, well, like, I just want to do this 1, 2, 3, paint the wall. No, you have to prepare your paint. You have to prepare your tools. Exactly. And so the dogs understand that. Everything takes a preparation, right? You don't just wake up and just come out. Some of us have to put makeup on, do our hair, clip our beards, whatever we have to do to get here, that is what goes on. So why is it when we're starting our beautiful work and our expectation is to deliver that beautiful picture, why is it that we don't give ourselves that time to prep? We're just like, all right, let's just get this dog done, and we don't even know what we're doing. We want to get down to that sebum layer, that follicle, and really clean it. It's really not about that beautiful haircut. That is a result of a good prep. That is a result of it, and that's the whole thing. If you want to have that show look, you don't have to be a competitive groomer. You just have to follow those standards, right? You can't be Kim. Well, I'm not going to use her. You can't use a beautiful woman like a Brooke Shields. I'm going to go old school here, old school beauty. That takes time. She's not going to go to In-N-Out Burger. I'm going to go to In-N-Out Burger. You see what I'm saying? I'm a little fluffy, but I'm not a model. So with that being said, our pet trims, to me, they're the most important. They are the ones that go out in the street. They are the ones, thank you, Marco, that go out, and I'm going to do a little bit more rinse off on your head. Those are the dogs that are your business cards. Those are the ones that people know you for. You know, I went into the vet for my dog. Rescued a little dog, went into the vet, had my little dog, pet parent, total pet parent. Easy rinse out, by the way, still conditioner. That's the last piece. And I walked in with my little dog, and this lady goes, you're the most popular groomer in my town. And I looked, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, thanks. And I'm like, how does she know me? She says, I know you, not from people of the page, not from being on. I know you because I'm a local dog walker in the area. And I know you because every time I walk a dog that you groom, they look like show dogs. Guys, that is the biggest compliment. That is the biggest trophy that I could ever get. It's not tangible, right? I can't show you, this is what she said. No, but I feel it in my work and in my heart. And as groomers, the main thing that we want to do is we want to deliver a beautiful experience and then practice our craft and our trade and deliver it and let it be shown on a dog and say, whoa, there it is. So again, any questions about frothing in that prep process? Yes? So, now, again, you guys have to know your audience, okay? That's a big part of this is knowing your audience. I know that I have dogs about this size, tequila size, so that's not been a problem for me. And I get this at shows. This is a question, and I see Ludo, and I speak to Liz, and I go, do you do it? She goes, I have. But most of the time, you have to remember, if you're going to make sushi or you're going to make burgers, you need 2 different tools for that, right? You need a nice seaweed roller for the sushi, and you need a grill for those charbroiled burgers. So you're going to need a baiting system. Remember what I said, use your baiting system for the bigger dogs. Switch to a different tool because obviously this is going to take more time and you know your staff is going to abandon it, okay? So if you know that they're going to de facto and they're going to go back to doing this whole thing and you're like, no, because you want to save product, teach them on a bathing system. Get a bathing beauty, a bathing system. They work. I have one because sometimes I have a doodle and I'm on a time constraint and I say, you know what, bathing beauty time. But I also show that I take that apart, that I clean it with 256. So that's all I'm saying. Use a different tool, but make sure that you're not forgetting about the cross-contamination process of it. All right? And just like this tool, this dog is fine. Look at this. No running water here right now. Okay? This is all from jugs and different things, egg beaters I got over here. And look, she's clean. Going into the towel. So this is a carbon Artero towel. This is their super absorbent. I love this towel. Again, it requires maintenance. It gives you that fun, right? I don't have to hurt my wrist. It's not heavy. It's definitely taking the water out the coat, but it needs to be cared for afterwards. It needs to go in a solution of 256. Every single stop, every single dog should get this dipped in a little bucket, 256, take off any of the dead dander hair because we all shed and we all leave an essence around. And there's nothing we can do about that. Even if this dog is the cleanest dog ever and I've done the best frothing, she's still going to emote dander and her essence onto this towel. So remember, you can have this just like we can have a corded clipper, but you need to charge the battery. So you need to keep this clean. And as groomers, we want it so easy. But here, guys, look at this. I could have gone to this, right? But remember, I know it's funny, but think about it. We're doing this all day long. This is the old way. You're doing this all day long. You're working on big dogs. You are labor intensifying your body. Most of us is a female-driven industry, 5 foot to average, you know. There's a little girl's 100 pounds, not like me. I am not the average, all right? But at the end of the day, you're using towels like this, and if you have a big Bouvier, you have a big Standard Poodle, you have a big Newfoundland, how many towels are you going to use? How much water is going to drip? How much hair? And then you're going to be sopping wet, and you're going to look like a big, drowned, harassed rat. And you're going to hate this profession. And my job is to interrupt you guys and say, this could be super cool. You can look super good. You can keep your cool. But you have to have the right tools. So this is where the marriage between Groomers Pro and Jay Adorno come along. Because when I hear a distributor tell me, do whatever it takes to make a groomer happy, that's what we want to hear, guys. We want to know that he wants to get the best products because we say this is what we need. And when I see that and I say, wow, not even that, this event, putting it all together. Look at the thought process to come here. Everybody was here getting ready for this, and it was important to them. It was important to them. So we have to say to ourselves, those are the types of businesses we want to support, the ones that want to listen to us. And this is, I've said this before, the very best time to be groomers. Because if we look around, how many choices of shampoo are there? How many choices of blades, combs? There's different types of clipper units. There's so much to choose from. I remember when I first started, and it wasn't 30 plus years, and what happened? There was one straight shear, maybe a curve, and Nature's was around then, and they're the ones that offer those solutions, right? Where we were like, oh, you could optical brighten the dog. Oh, you can add texture. Oh, I want a pumpkin flavor. And now they've gone into frothing. So they're moving with us. And we also have the newest, Barking Cider. If I ever put you on to anything in this, please get the Barking Cider. It's apple cider vinegar. It is the most, oh, my goodness. Whenever it goes, and I'm in my cabin, and I know that bath starting, it smells good, and it's a clarifying shampoo. It's the newest iteration, right? Everybody wants vinegars and things to kill smells, and they're doing it. So, any questions? Okay, so this is a Blackworks to rubberized brush. What I like about this, too, look, it's easy to rinse off. And a lot of the times when we get these brushes and the massage gloves, what ends up happening, especially on Goldens and these big D-sheds, it's hard to clean them. So when you have a kind of massaging, bathing, this is more of a brush, and they have hand gloves. Look how easy it is to get all of this out. So that's a big deal when you're choosing tools. If you can't get it clean, what happens? Cross-contamination. So there is the prep portion of this. Questions, come on with the questions. I'm going to get Tequila out of here so she can get dry, okay? That's up to you. So now the question is it better to let the froth sit on the coat? That's up to the groomer, right? Because if you know you want to do a beautiful continental on this dog and you want a va-va-voom from, iGroom, you want to use va-va-voom and lift up that coat, leave it on for a minute or two. There's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're doing a medicated treatment, nothing wrong with that. Do you have to do that to make sure it's clean? No, because the process of emulsifying the shampoo, it's already up there. You understand? It's like, you ready for the party? You ready for the party? I'm ready for the party. I'm ready for the party. I'm ready to clean this dog. I'm ready. Shampoo, I'm ready. So that is what your mixer is doing. It's telling him, I'm ready to go. Can somebody grab Tequila for me and put her into drying stage while I answer these questions? What else as far as questions? Okay, so the question is, what is my experience with Hydra? Have I used maybe formulations that are not 50-1 that have a little bit more water in it? Yes. So I have dogs that I groom every 2 weeks, every week, different schedules. So whenever those dogs come in, what ends up happening is I choose and I say, this dog is clean. It's been in 2 weeks. This is superly maintained dog. I can use a Hydra. Hydra has a thinner formulation, right? As a thinner formulation, and it is really more of a luxury competition, higher end brand. So you're going to pay more for the formulation. It's going to be even more diluted because it's meant for that luxury one-to-one, not those everydays. So this is like going to a wedding. I'm going to put it this way so you understand. Go to a wedding, you put your nice wares on, and you're like, oh, I look pretty, right? On your normal day-to-day, I have a top knot up, I have my leggings on, I'm ready to go, I'm in the fray, I'm on the front lines of doodles, poodles, and more. There's my nature's line where I've got all the solutions. Then I move up and I go, I'm going to go to a wedding. I'm going to do this a little bit extra. I want to give a little extra luxury to this line, a little extra process. Yes, you froth it all. Put a little less water in a thinner solution. In a lesser dilution, put less water in because it's already diluted a lot. Okay? That's the answer. But now you're going to Hydra and you have your wares on, right? And then you go to these vegan shampoos that are even less dilution and they're really top end and PCR packaging. That's when you go into the Met Gala, right? You really are only going to use that if you have a special piece to do, if you're going to compete that day. So you have to pick the audience that you're choosing to serve, right? You know, I'm here today and I says, well, today's a special smock day. This is not a smock I wear all the time. This is my teaching smock. I look good in it. I look good on camera and I know the audience I'm serving. So as groomers and business owners, we have to think ahead like that and say, okay, I got a lot of Shih Tzus, Maltese going in. I've got older dogs today. I've got anal gland boys and girls today. I know what I'm going to be using. I'm going to use my Plum Silky, my Pride, Trust and True Froth Tails. That's my everyday shampoo, right? Because we need different solutions. You guys want to go on a diet. Let's look at a supermarket. This could be a supermarket for dog tools. In the supermarket, you say, ooh, I want to go vegan today. I want to try the vegan stuff. But you know you want to get that real burger. So you go by the White Castle section in the frozen aisle, and you're like, those are good burgers. It's not good for you. But you want it. You want the taste. And you go and you get that burger and you eat it, and you're like, don't feel so good. Something like a Tropiclean, not something that has a high quality. Just saying, you find it in the pet store, not a high-quality shampoo. But then you say, ooh, I don't know. I went to Soho House in L.A., and I was like, wow, this chicken, this calamari, it was high-end. Those tentacles were crispy, right? So it was a different audience. I'm also paying a different price point. So for a long iteration is, you try anything in that supermarket you like, all the way from the lesser to the top. But there is a reason why there's a price point change. There is a reason why there's a process change. But as groomers and professionals, we have to choose. Now, if I have someone that doesn't have a lot of money and I said, I want to do or go to the shelter and, I just want to get these dogs groomed, will I use Hydra? No, I'm not going to use Hydra because I know I'm going to have to use a ton of product. I'm not going to be able to service a lot of dogs with that. I'm going to go for a Froth Tails. All day, every day, 50-1. Get those dogs clean. They're still getting a luxury experience, but it's affordable. And I know that if some of it goes to waste in the tub, I'm not crying about it. And what happens is when people go to a higher end shampoo, then they want to skimp on it. And they'll go, groom this dog, this much shampoo. See that big poodle? that's as much. That was $100 a gallon. So now what happened? Now, because you're going to a higher end shampoo, now you want to skimp on the process. So the experience is different. So know your audience when you're picking your shampoos. There's a reason why there are different grades and levels. Questions? Absolutely. You can set up, I went to Gabriel's shop yesterday in San Diego, right? And I went there when it was under construction to now. It's all said and done. And he has a self-wash. And he goes, they like for me to do it, but I have them come in. They'll set up the station. All you have to do is make it fun. Did you see how much fun this could be? You could do this with your children. You can get your clients engaged with this. Give them all an egg. You want to do something nice and you have the funds? Buy them an egg. Right? But hey, this is for your home grooming. Teach them. You can do clinics in your shops about this. There's so much you could do to perpetuate good. Now, I go online all the time. A lot of you are watching me online. I cannot tell you. Here's a great story. I get to a stop on mobile. People watch me. They're friends of friends. Whatever goes on. I get to this stop, and all of a sudden, where is it? This lady comes out. I'm handling my client. Oh, she's so cute. Blah, blah, blah. And this lady comes, I froth. And I'm like, who is this lady? She's coming from like the 50-yard line. She's like, oh, I froth. And I'm like, do I know this lady? Where's she coming from? And then she comes and she goes, hi, you don't know me, but I follow you. And I have to tell you, I took my coffee frother out the cabinet and I started going. And I go, okay. And she goes, big dog, I have a collie and I do the bath. And you have clients that do home care and they like to do this and they help us out. So when you have that and they get excited about it, total stranger. And she said frothing has changed her life. Frothing changed her life. And she's just a random follower, pet parent, that this process helped her out so much. So the question is, have your egg. Give them shampoo and conditioner. Give them make a little graph. This is what it is. And let them play with it. If they want to add something in, you can teach them and make it an experience. If you educate, right now you're all getting educated. I'm throwing out a rock into the sea of groomers, people of the page, and I want it to ripple all over the place until you all open up your shirts and say, I froth. I'm part of Froth Nation, and I love it. Do you guys know that I froth my hair today? This is why my hair is always so happy, because it stands up and it goes, yes, me. It stands up like this because I take care of it. And people go, how do you do that? Naturally, my hair is curly. It's really curly like Erin in the audience. And nobody understands and knows it. They're like, nah, I don't wake up like this. This thing is a mess, just like the dogs we service. But I know skin and coats. I know hair. I know the follicles. So what do? I say to this hair, you want to go up? You want to be up like Fat Joe? I'm on my way up. This morning I woke up and it says, we have to be up high today. And look, right? But I will tell you, my hair is affected by humidity. You could see me in Vegas. You could see me in Florida. It's not the same story. So why I say that to you is because I could show you this and it looks great on camera and it looks great to everybody, but you do have to have a trial and error. You do have to practice it and then send me your questions back and I'll answer them for you and we can adjust. Every new process is a process. It's a procedure to learn. So if you're having a learning curve and you're making it too much, this is easy. This is fun. 1, 2, 3. Yes? Same way, just as I'm doing here. This is ready to go. Okay, this is ready to go. If you really want to be super, like, you're not going to cross-contaminate. Unless you're dipping feet or tushies in here, this is just product. So if you have a little bit of froth tails left and you're going into, it just has to be Hydra in there, that's fine. Go in here and that's all you have to do. Easy. If, like, my mom, she bathes right next to me. She has this and she's like, I need another cup. She likes to have a cup. I don't know why she needs another cup, but she likes to have that. So get your stations at your self-wash, in your mobiles, at home. If you're an in-home groomer and you're trekking around a lot of stuff, you need a book bag and an egg. I came here today to perform for you with my book bag of tools and an egg. Coming out the hotel, I'm in the actual elevator like this already. And everybody's like, what is that girl doing? I says, I got my egg. I can bathe the dog right now. As long as I have this, some water, here it goes. We're ready to go. So we are the best at what we do, but we need tools. We need tools. Questions? Yes?
Tiny question.
Yeah.
I have a bather box
Yep.
in my salon. Is that the same idea as like kind of frothing or not really?
Bather box. She says she has a bather box in her salon. I've never heard of a bather box. Is it like a bathing system?
It is,
Yep.
But it attaches to shampoo.
Yep.
And then it goes inside and then it comes out.
This is a great question. There are different iterations of, remember I showed you the coffee frother. That's one way to froth. Then if you want, I know this is funny, you can shake it a lot. You could do this, okay? And you will get froth, you know, but it's a lot of work. Now, the bathing system, as long as it's going to froth it up and you can control and you're not cross-contaminating, use it, no problem. Bathing systems, we have those car wash. Now, I bathed Pina's dog for Artero on Jornadas, and I said, oh, God, I don't have my frother. I was lost in the mobile. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. They had in the mobile a car wash cup, and I said, okay, I could put an ounce in here, and then the water is going to do it for me, and it did great. It was a Kerry Blue, 1, 2, 3, and it was fine. So choose what, if you don't want to stand it, you could do an immersion blender. You can make a whole bucket of it and pour it on Ludo if you want. Now, just for shits and giggles, I would definitely for Ludo, if he was coming in and I knew my big boy was coming in, I'd set him up in the tub and I'd have him in the front room as it just to show my baths. Take a big bucket, a Home Depot bucket, put a good maybe 4 ounces of shampoo in there because that's what's going to take, right? Or maybe more, you can go more. Gauge it, and then I go with an immersion blender. And then I would get Ludo and I would just saturate it all over his big body because you could really see the effect of it. And then I would rinse it off and I know my staff would go, wow, because this dog with this amount of coat, unbelievable. So, I mean, for this purposes, it will take us a long time to get through that, but you can do it, guys. And remember, if you're doing a dog of that size and you're whipping the shampoo, charge for a luxury experience, right? I want a luxury car. You want to drive a Tesla? I went in a Tesla for the first time yesterday, and I was driving it. What an experience. I didn't know the car has cameras. It does all these things. It told me, hello, is your tushy too hot? Is your hair too high? And I go, well, this is a great car. We've gotten to a point where you basically don't even have to brake with that car. Efficiency, efficiency. So why is it we're still doing this? Cross-contaminating our dogs and then fighting for it. You don't know how many, it's in older groomers too, especially my older girls. I love you out there, but they go, I'm not doing that. I like what I do. I like what I do. It's too much time. And then I prove it to them within seconds and they go, oh, that to me is the best part when you can flip it around. So you can flip around your staff. You just have to go to a new type of process and AKA religion. Now, going back to that first story about that girl that was rinsing for 20 minutes, I want to go back there, and I want to prove that we can get the same result, right? Get the same result, and then after a month, I want to prove that the water bill went down, the product is being saved, and then it will become a new religion. You have to watch it, right? Like anything else. You can't eat 7 Oreo cookies and then go to the gym tomorrow and be like, am I slim? No, you're not going to be slim. It takes time, guys. It takes time. So the biggest and the best compliment I could ever get in this frothing nation for this past 4 years that I've been, doing this, Jonathan David. Anybody know that guy? Jonathan David sends me an instant message. He watches me. He's a people of the page. He says, listen to me, girl. And I go, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. What did I do now? And he goes, you have changed everything in my daily grooming with that egg. I don't know what it is. He goes, he does just like me. He has a mobile, small to medium dogs, mostly small. He says, I can get 3 baths out of 1 mix. And I go, get out of here. He goes, oh no. He uses Nature's. He was buying Nature's he come to me and say, I need more gallons. And I'm like, well, you're going through so much shampoo. He switched to the egg. We barely see Jonathan David anymore. That's it. And then you say, well, you don't want people to... No, I want you to be able to buy the Artemis. I want you to be able to go out and take that lunch break because you're working smarter, not harder. So again, my process is okay, guys, but is your process okay? And to hear that from someone who's gone international for 30 years of his career, competitive groomer to pet groomer to everyday mobile groomer that he is, that he said that changed his life, my job here is done. So now, I want to know, are you ready to do the change? Are you ready for the frothing? Any questions we have left? Because we're going to go to the cut and style. Yes?
Is flea shampoo still effective when you froth it?
Say it again.
Is flea shampoo still effective?
Ooh, flea shampoo. Flea shampoo any shampoo is the most effective when you froth it. The question is a flea shampoo most effective when you froth it? Any shampoo, Remember, the moment you take this shampoo that's been sitting there on the corner waiting to get picked up to dance, it's just sitting there. All these shampoos here are lonely. They're all lonely. They want to go home with you. They want to go in your shops. Will you pick them? We don't know. I'm lonely. I'm so lonely. And the minute you open it up and you say, okay, Pop and Blueberry, you want to go dance with me? Please, lonely. Whether it's a flea shampoo, va-va-voom, anything that you can think of. And you take that little sweetheart to dance. It doesn't matter, right? If you don't know how to dance, you could always do 1, 2, 3, right? You don't have to be like me. No. So what I'm basically telling you is you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to do this all day, every day at Costco like I do. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is take her out to dance, and then she gets really excited, or he gets excited, and he goes, oh. And now, I know the noises are a lot, and it's all a thing, but remember, when there's excitement, there's bubbles. There's bubbles. There's a wonderful smell. There's froth. Wee, ooh, ah. And how simple was that? And now you have effectively taken this sweetheart out to dance for a little twirl. Now look, I could do this all day. And if you're using a little bit of product, how long would it take me to get through this bottle? A long time. So when you go back to your shops and you look at your gallons and you go from that show or you come from Groomers Pro and you're like, I bought this froth tail Jess Adorno, this whole thing was great. Then the next week you come in and you look at the gallon and you went, what happened? You know that they're not frothing. There's no way that you can go through that whole gallon in 1 week because it should take me a good month or so to get through this. You see what I'm saying? So the proof is in the pudding, and here it goes, guys. Any more questions? Yes?
Will de-shed shampoo froth work better without a bathing system and bubbles?
No, works good. De-shed shampoo, I've tested a lot of different iterations of it. Works good in the bathing beauty. It works good on froth. It is just a different shampoo that is going to elicit taking out that undercoat. It has nothing to do with the formulation. The difference in formulation is 50-1 in the froth tails was made for that. A lot less water. So if your de-shed shampoo was made to take out undercoat, the process of how you're whipping it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way you take it out to dance. It's got its dress on. It's got its tux on. It's ready to go. Remember what I just told you. It's ready to do what that label says it's ready to do. It's your solution. The way you apply it is the process here that I'm telling you. It can go for anything. Okay? Now, look what you see here. Now, this here is not a froth tails. You see how it's getting watery right away? Because there's more water in that formulation. And then I added more. So remember the first time I did it? This didn't happen. Remember? It just stood and it was like peaks. So when you're doing a froth tail shampoo, it just stays up there because there's little to no more water. And that was nature's answer to saying, hey, Jess, this is the difference. We really worked on formulating it so that they can get the most and the best result out of a little bit of shampoo. Whereas everything else is a different solution. Do we get that? This one is for bluing. This is for texturizing. But it doesn't mean you can't froth it. Froth everything. But that means that the looseness of it, that's the trial and error where you have to play with it. You as an artist, as a grooming professional, you have to feel where you're comfortable with that. And if you feel like it doesn't feel good, put more. Oh, 5 minutes. Go. What was that? Do I froth shampoo for my home? I absolutely do. When I'm in the tub, I don't have the egg and all that. It gets weird. I already know that I'm coming out of the hotel with an egg. I'm traveling with an egg. In the TSA, I have an egg. But no, when I have in my shower, my shampoo, all I do is I do this real quick. I know, it's a lot. I know, she's on it. But it's a quick one, right? It's not a long thing. And then I put it on my hair and I'm just like, yes. I start to pant. I do get happy, start to scratch a little bit, and I go, I know how my four-legged friends really feel. All right, we have a few minutes left. How are my live viewers? Are they good? Any more live viewing questions?
Just a few comments about cats.
Ooh, I didn't hit that. All right, the last 3 minutes are going to go to the kitty cats. Now, I just shared a story about a groomer who said, I love frothing for cats. Little cat's up there, meow, and I go, ooh, but, uh-oh. I understand that. Now, whenever a dog hears about a cat, it says, it's like the Latins, there's a lot of different things. My culture, your culture, right. Schnauzer's like, no cats. It's about dogs today. Nuh-uh. We can also do cats. Now, same thing, very little. with your cat, very little. Get it to that point. Use your froth tails for this. Use your high concentrates. Get that cat clean and in. Right there. Got that kitty cat right on the table. New process. You want to get them acclimated. Here you go. Start it up. Quick, guys. Really quick. Open it up. Take that cat and start pulling it on the cat. The head. Remember, you don't want to wet a cat's head. You don't want to spray them. The minute you spray water on the cat, what are they going to do? And then you're like, oh my goodness. Then you have another groomer, another groomer. With cats, it has to be their idea. So remember, we go back to the first thing I ever said. It's about the experience. When you're working with a cat, it has to be their idea. It's like my wife. Nothing happens unless it's her idea. Even if I'm maneuvering, nothing happens unless I say, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to froth? Oh, yeah, you taught me that. No. So go right here onto that kitty cat and start working it through the paws. What's the worst thing for cats? Water, water, water. So because this rinses out quickly, you could even go like this, right off that cat. Get it all clean. Start to really take it off with your hands, and then a quick rinse out. Even on your mister nozzle, go on to a mister so that cat's not going the whole time. Yeah, they're going to do it. And if you acclimate them well, frothing is the best process for cross-contamination, rinse out, product. There's multiple. How many, did anybody count how many ways frothing is the way to go? No? Anything else? Yes, you can have a cocktail. This can be like, here it goes. You can go, okay, I want a little bit of this here. You'll say, I want a little bit of this here. Okay, I want a little bit of this here, right? Remember what I said about cooking. Now, the minute let's say, we do this all the time in my mobile. Let's say I get a dog and I say, okay, for Ludo. So now I notice Ludo's car. I say, I assess, right? You assess your canvas and you say, all right, I feel like right now, weather change, Ludo's coat is a little crisp. It's a little dry. So what am I going to do? Maybe I put, what do we do now? Froth tails we're going to put because it has the avocado, the olive oil in it. And maybe I'm going to put a little bit of bluing in it and maybe a little remoisturization inside of it. In the shampoo, the whole thing. I am the scientist here. This is where it gets fun. And then I come out. And so I'm controlling the groom. I'm controlling the coat. I have conditioner. I have everything in there. That's what I want to do. That's the treatment I want to produce. You as the groomer will get more in detail with your shampoos and your process because you're feeling it, you're touching it, you're experiencing it. Whereas this is only experience for one person and we already know who it is, right? Right, you understand that. So when you're doing the mixing bottle, it's a one size fit all. It's that one t-shirt for that one person. I'm not a girl who can take it, neither should our dogs. So remember, you can control the process, you can mix, you can froth. It is not hard. Yes?
With the degreaser, would you froth it or just use the degreaser directly?
No, froth everything. Again, if I'm doing a dog that is mucky, it is a dog that's disgusting and needs a degreaser, my first froth could be really, really small, like real quick. And I go, okay, that's going to get the head. It's going to get the inner leather of the ears. It's going to get all that yeast and the gook out. First facial, off, rinsed out. Off with its head, on to the next one. Your process of switching can happen within 5 minutes each time. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. 5 times, 5 different treatments. I had a dog with eye cancer. He was covered, his whole face was covered with, just sludge. He's old, he's 16, urine, this, that. If I did not have the frothing process, I don't think I would have gotten that dog done because I would have had to use so many mixing bottles. I kept on doing warm water, froth, letting that froth work itself in, seeing it effervescently take out all of the gook, the grime, the grease, old dog, smell. I brought that dog out and in, and the owner said to me, now we have to get physical. She goes, this is a whole new dog. The process was less than an hour on a 16-year-old dog with eye cancer. I was able, while he was in the tub, to cut out any gook because it wasn't soaking wet. Cut all the gook out, re-cleaned it. 4 different froths on that one dog would equate to maybe 2 baths on a mixing bottle. All done, went in. The mother said, she said, you're G-O-D. I said, no, it's J-E-S-S-I-C-A, not G-O-D. I know you're confusing it right now, but it's not Jesus Cristo, it's Jessica. She goes, I got to hug you. And that experience for that dog and that client keeps me with a 98% retention rate where people are like, nobody can't go anywhere else. It's her. It's her. And that's all coming from the process. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to take a pee-pee, ploppy, poodle break. You understand what I'm saying? Get your poodles, get your doodles, and we're going to come back with a cut and style. Okay? I'll be here to answer questions on the side.
I'm going to do 2 raffles.
So I can't tell you mine because it's New York State. cut and style portion of this. Get your last purchases in. Promise you, you'll be able to do this again. Are we live online? Online, thank you for waiting. There's a lot going on here. We are making sure that everybody's questions are answered. So sorry if you're online and you're waiting. You're like, what's happening? We're at the party. Guys, I'm on my way up and I'm on my way down now, right to the floor. So what I really want to show you here is this is the Cadillac of tables. This is the Blackworks table, the Cadillac, or what my friend Liz here says, the Swiss Army of tables. Memory, right? You want to have it this way, that way. You have how many memory features on it?
You got 2 memory spots you can keep it at.
2 memory features on it, where it's like your car. Your husband comes in and he's got those long legs and you're like, I'm so small. You can change it, groomer to groomer, or for yourself. If you know you like one position in the morning, one at night, you have memory. That's what I have to say. Obviously, there we go. Obviously, I am not a small girl, but it can handle it, no problem. So we're going to take it up one more time, Marco. Bring me all the way up. Let's just show you this can handle it. This is the Blackworks table, right? Look at this. And I think whenever I do a seminar and I'm able to work on this table, I'm very happy. I can put my scissors. I can raise up big dogs, small dogs. I'm not scared. It's not shaking. I'm not going like this. This is a very stable. Look at this. Wow. Ooh, ah. So the Blackworks table can handle the weight. It is smooth. I don't even know I'm going up. I'm just getting higher. And what is that up there? It's a bird. It's a plane. I think it's a piñata for our party. All right. So if you come in, this is one setting. And then as I want my way down, he's going to bring me down. And as you can see, there's no jiggle. There's no wiggle. I don't even know what's happening. And all of a sudden I say, Chauncey, bring me down. I am ready to do a cut and style. And here it goes. This is smooth, smooth. Any questions about this table? This table also comes with a battery pack. If you're a mobile and you want to put this in your mobile and you do not want to use your inverter systems, it comes with a chargeable battery pack. Amazing. So if you have a station that you don't have power for and you want to have this whole happen, they do make one with a battery pack in it. As I fumbalaya. Oh, look at it. I'm down. And here we go. There it is. Smooth it can be. All right, we're going to get started on the cut and style, my favorite part of this section. And can we bring my favorite model in, Mia? Mia is going to come. She's just finished competing. This is her second workshop. And I've prepped her, fluffed her, done all the things. Here she comes, here she comes. Take all my scissors off. Remember, it's interactive. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm here. Hi, sweetheart. Get a jelly pet. Again, look at this. Easy. Ooh, ah. Say hi, Mia. Oh, she's going up high. She's going up high. There we go. We go. And never fear if it does have pedals where you can bring it right back down. Okay, so the first portion of this, we were talking about preparation, the canvas. This has already been done, right? Easy bake oven. Ooh, ah. So I'm going to take this clipper that can handle, on a single speed, it can handle this coat with a wide blade. Now, what do you say, the wide blades? 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I get. This is a typical pet groom. Never met this dog. I've only prepped her. This is what I call the first date. Hold on a second. All right. This is my first date with Mia. Before I went on this date, I swiped left, I swiped right in the morning. You saw me prepping her, taking control of her. Main thing you want to do with this coat is line comb, okay? Over on the side, there's a bunch of combs. Now, here's the thing with combing. Everybody says, well, why do I need so many different combs? I have about 30 different combs in my mobile. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, but I love tools. They're different. They have different prongs. They have different widths. They have different purposes. She's already been prepped, so we're going for a finish here, right? This is a cut and style. She's been blow dry. She's been froth. We've done all of the things. But before we go and put that wide blade in her body, you want to make sure you're line combing. Is this ready right? Are you going to make that Artemis go through this, and are you giving it a fair shot? Do you get in your car and not put gas in it? No. So a lot of groomers are saying, oh, this and that. You don't have a cord anymore, but you have a battery. This is the newest iteration of lithium, meaning you can take it right out the box, charge it and go, right? In the middle, the end, you can charge it for a couple of hours and start using it. Now, whenever you have a clipper blade that is, or a clipper that is cordless, you're going to sacrifice some things, right? Some of it is power, some of it is actual run time. You say, well, how long does it run? It depends on how you treat it. You can be talking like this and leave the clipper on and say, you know, I went out last night, I was at the Soho house, and, you know, that can happen. There's a lot of reasons and things. So to give you true set times, it's set to run 4 to 5 hours, okay? That's what it is. So comes with one battery, this nice base body, and I said it was white, and I go, oof, is that gonna get clean? It does get really clean, a little Windex, it goes right back to white, no problem. Grit, grime, the body does hold it. It has a nice, almost like a matte grip, so there's not a lot of slipping. And I like the size, great size, if you wanna get into these little areas like this, and you can see, this clipper gets up and goes. It's not very, very loud at all, and because it's single speed, there's a big thing with single speed. It's like these, like I said yesterday, I drove a Tesla, right? Car had a lot of speed, a lot of pickup, but it was different because it's new. So this is different. It gets up and goes, and it keeps itself at one speed so that when it's going through the hair, it's going nice and slow enough where it can grab it and really offer you a true cut, okay? Sometimes, and I was just talking about this in the break, I'm a good groomer. I can groom fast, but speed can kill. Listen to me, speed can kill. So if this, and then I'm not saying that clippers that have 2 speeds are bad, but you as the groomer have to know that if you have a coat like Mia's, you want to work this through. This is a thicker coat like this dog Ludo. You're not gonna just, it's not a Yorkie coat, it's not a drop coat. It's not gonna fly through. So you have to give it some time. You have to give it a little bit of grace and let it work through, sift through. But remember, to get the ultimate haircut, what do we need to have? Great prep. This canvas had to be prepped. So going into combs, here is finishing combs. Prep comb, Blackworks right over here. You see a comb like this, it has thick and thin, right? Fine, and so when you're combing, how many people flip it? How many people do this? And they flip their comb. Flip your comb, and as you're doing this, let's go around to her face. So this is still going into prep and canvas prep. I need to know where I'm gonna go with this cut. So now I'm going to look at the prep, and if it's not, and if this was done for me, this is what I would do. Whenever I get a dog, no matter what, if I don't know them, this is what I'm doing. So now I'm fluffing up her head and flipping. Thin, right, for the muzzle in the face. We all know Jess Rona. I saw her yesterday, or the day before. Don't tell her that. She thinks she's not the only one. And see, now I'm on the refined. Once I go into this nice donut muzzle, remember, Jess says, dry that muzzle, fluff, 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 right? And then I go to the head and I go to the thicker portion. So don't forget, each tool you have, you need to know how to maneuver it, just like the egg, just like your scissors. Combs matter too, all right? So the difference between a prep comb and a regular finisher comb is these prep combs, they can go through it. They're the everyday, the knot puller, the mat puller, the sifters. The line combs are your prep combs. They tend to be on the less expensive side. Anywhere from $10 to $50, somewhere in that range, depending on what you like. Now, you look at something like an Itsumi or something to the effect of, if you don't have that budget, you can go into Artero, right? Artero has a beautiful finishing comb, really refined. Or you can go here, prep. Look, they're getting really fancy. So there are the refinements. Look at this, a lip comb. Everybody see this, right? So the same thing, going into her face, changing it around. This is one prong, and now look. I want to get right over here. Look at how nice that is. So there are reasons why there are many different tools. And see, the minute I do that, it's ready. Cut, just from that little comb. In the eyes. If you have Yorkies, fan out the ears. So this little comb might help make that dog feel a little bit more comfortable, right? So it's for us, it's for the dog. It's to make this process go as quickly as possible for the overall experience of the dog on your table. Any questions so far about combs? Yes? This little one is a greyhound, and we have this here. This is a great, and I know, like I said, remember, think of the concept of a supermarket. There's many brands. There's many reasons why we pick brands, but overall, make sure it's quality, make sure you're happy with it, and make sure the brand backs you if there's an issue. That is a big part of it, because if you're investing in a company, like our clients invest in our haircuts, if we're not backing our haircuts when they call us up and say, what's going on, how do we look? So, and I know that groomers really want that. We really want to be backed. So that's how you pick it. Now, when I look at a dog like this, I say, okay, I don't know Mia, she doesn't know me, and they say, we want half of what she has, right? So I am a custom groomer, right? Each one of our shops has our customization to it. I have my color scheme, I have this. So whenever anybody seeks me out, they say, well, I want Jess. She's going to do, my specialty is refined scissor work, right? So if you want to cut and color and something creative, you're going to go to San Diego and get Gabriel, because that's not something that I can do it, but do I really love this? Is my specialty. So never, ever, deny yourself to say, oh, well, I don't have a big name like Gabriel because of this. Gabriel has a big name because he's specialized in something and he's really taken it to another level. Now, when I look at Mia, I say, okay, she's kind of long-bodied. She has this over here. What do I want to do to shorten up her body? Automatically, still on 7/8 of an inch, I'm going to go on the inner side of her thigh and change this up. I don't want to lose this, but I want to give it rhyme or reason. So here I go, going inside to the thigh and just scooping out lightly, and then creating shape. So I'm looking, before I have anything, I'm looking at Mia as her frame. What does she look like? How is she looking? And how am I going to balance her framework out? And some pet groomers are like, what are you talking about framework, whatever? I go to shows. I see what the competitors do. And they look at the overall shape of the dog first. How can I make this girl look the very best? Some of you have mentioned my smock. I'll change it for you. Say, I like that smock. You're not getting any nails inside your boobs. It's flattering. So I know how to dress my body so it's looking the best. Competitive groomers know how to dress the dogs so they look their best. And some of them have the best structures, but us as pet groomers, we get it all. We get the big, the thick, the thin, we get it all. So in my opinion, we are really, kind of on those first blind dates. And that's hard. Because when you're working with a dog that you know, and you know how they're moving and what they're doing, it's easy to anticipate. But when you're not, you're kind of like all over the place and you get overwhelmed, right? Don't get overwhelmed. Go slow. Remember, speed kills. Get her together and say, okay, Mia, what's going on? First thing I like to do when I'm working with a dog is, okay, I already set and know that 7/8 of an inch is a good number. Now I'm going to say, I love her big head. This looks good. It just needs to be refined. I'm going to go to 3/8 of an inch. 30 wide blade, and now I'm going to start to define her actual style. It's already there. I don't want to move it too much. So I'm going to say, okay, I know the last groomer left a lot of head going into the neck, but look at here in the face. There's a lot going on. Go here, get in there. Scoop it, and you go, wow, that's aggressive. But look what happened when I did that. Her face came right up, like this, okay? So we're kind of like the Dr. 90210s. For a better reference, we're in California. We can do nip, tucks, and all these things with our clippers. You just have to know where to take off. So think about it. This is my canvas. I want that face to pop forward. So here's where I'm going to scoop in with a 3/8 of an inch wide blade. And I'm going to wait right over here, right into her chest. Not going to go too low. Remember, you can always take it off. It's hard to put it back on. So now I'm going to come on the side and say, okay, she has a really good, go right in here. I know, just so good. Right in the back, chin line. You all have trouble with that chin line, and it gets really convoluted between the cheek and then the ear. Where do we get that separation? It becomes a lot of hair. And so what ends up happening is you get overwhelmed with the haircut. There's hair here, there's hair here. The main thing that your client wants to see is this right here. This right here. Whenever I see a dog, I see all my friends, I see this right here. I'm not saying, ooh, your angulation in your butt, girl. It's not the first thing you say. You look at their face, you kiss them. That's what your clients do. So this is the money maker. This is where we're starting here first, and then we're going to move back. But remember, we looked at her structure. Now, chin up. I don't want to take away from this beautiful neck. I'm just going to hold this through, and then scoop, scoop, scoop. Now I'm also looking at, on the side of her, all of this line coming down. I want to take off just a little bit to follow the contours, but I don't want to just go in too much where her shoulder looks pinched. This is an Asian fusion. This is taking this dog and making it half. Bringing her to what she has, just bringing her in and making it neater. Don't overcomplicate it. We're not changing. We're not overhauling. We're emphasizing her structure in a shorter way. So now I've got that side done. Any questions so far, guys? Watch the ears and go into the neck, into the chest. What you really want to do here is really scoop out that neck area so you can see her cheek line, you can see her neckline. So you're basically roughing in the dog, okay? And now I don't have her on a loop, but I have all these different techniques to keep her close to me so she's comfortable. I'm going to switch over that blade now, and I'm just going to keep on blending, right? Okay. Now, I can take it in the back. What I did to the other side was, come on over here. Hold up the tail. I'm going to put in that angulation. Right at the bend of the thigh. Just scoop, scoop. Now, I don't want to take all of this out. That's how I'm going to create that cute butt lift I'm going to give her, okay? So just scoop from the inside out, inside out. And you say, how do you do that? It looks like a lot of moves, but it's a little bit. Being conservative in grooming is better than being fast. Because when you're fast, you knock it all off. You're not looking at the lines. Remember, speed kills. So I started with the top line. I went to the side and dropped down, okay? Handling here, top line. And then I say to myself, okay, I'm going to handle, now moving to the side, I want to go into the bend the knee, giving her nice angulation, but I don't want to take this off. Now, as she goes and looks towards the jelly pet, right over here on this side, I say, oh, she has some handbags over here, and it's sticking out too much. So this is where you look at the frame, and I just bring it in a little bit, just a little bit. So everything I'm doing now is setting up for that big finish. That big finish, it's very light, and let it go down right into that foot, right onto the table, down, so everything makes sense. Now, when I look at me and now everything is uniform, and I go, okay, so I'm setting it all up, I'm creating shape, creating angulation. Now, she's long body, that's going to shorten her up. Here's the next thing, balance. Now, I know in this body, we're going to go right in here. Come from this neck, leave all that, come down right to the point of her elbow, not too far down. You don't want this to be all the way down too low because she's going to look dumpy and low. You don't want her to look like she has a double belly. That looks weird. Keep it right to her elbow. And go down and in, blend off. Stop at that last rib. Now, I've seen this. I've seen a lot of people teach this. Stop at the last rib, and then you go, well, what the hell do I do after that? Do I just leave a bush of hair? No. Now you're going to go from your top line. Watch this maneuver. It's going to happen quick. Come down into the thigh. Blend off. Do you see how that changed the whole trajectory right there? That just gave her the entrance. And this is where everybody has a problem, the tuck-up area. It's like, you don't want to make it too high, too low. You basically want to carve out her waist over here, but you don't want to take off the hair because then she's going to look too high up. She doesn't have a lot there, but what she does have, we're going to accentuate. So once you go in here and you let that thigh come out, now we have angulation going in. Okay? Now, if I know that she's playing a lot, remember, it's a pet trim. So this dog is going to be moving. She's going for Thanksgiving. She's going trick-or-treating. She's doing all the things. She's not just going to be standing there. And if I know that Mia had a lot of matting here, there's where I'm going to go in and maybe press a little bit more and go really in. Remember, pet groomers, we want to keep her short. So just because you're taking off length here, don't take off the length here. Let's get it really close so she's nice and tight-bodied. Tight body in the back, tight body in the front. What I say is she's snatched. Whip, beep, 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 all the way through. So as professional dog groomers, this is what we're doing. Not only are we dog grooming for skill, now we're going into the stylist part. So not every dog groomer is a good stylist because you're working to get there. The style comes when you've perfected your craft, your process, your prep, and now you're going into unique breed standard, breed specific styling, or Asian fusion, or freestyle. That's when you're really getting into it. Now go down, blend off, blend off, blend off, blend off, blend off, light on that knee. Now here, there's a little pinch here, and that looks a little off balance, so I'm just gonna go straight down, straight down, straight down. Don't take off that back, but remember, create the front. Come in, scoop. Now she has, there it is, making more sense. See how she's coming right away through? From here to here, bring it in. Any questions so far? Any online? So we've handled the neck. Now, still, time is money. Can I scissor out the whole dog? Sure, I can scissor out the whole dog, but I have other dogs to go throughout the day, right? Come in here, you have all of this girth. Go into your longest comb and just blend it out. You don't have to do everything with a shear. And then now you can start your blend with your clipper comb, and you can keep on changing the combs accordingly. So come right over here from 7/8 of an inch. All right, maybe I'm going to go right into 5/8 of an inch. And then from there, blend. Keep blending. Now, I took the outside out. What about the inside? This is where they chafe, right? The legs twist. They get little twigs inside. Functional haircut. So you want to be able to take, come on, Mimi. Thank you, girl. Her leg up, okay? And go on the inside and get that angulation inside. Remember, leaving this. You want to get her butt going. And then scoop out. Scoop out. All the way inside. Remember when you're grooming back to basics, this dog is not flat. She is three-dimensional. She's going to move. She's going to look beautiful. And these are all nice three-dimensional shapes. So as she's moving, you have to one side, two side. Go to each and every side of her actual section, which is the back leg we're working on. Thigh, hip, knee, foot. Once you've hit all that, move on. That's how you keep your timing too. A lot of groomers say, well, how do you go so fast? Because I have a plan. I'm prepped, I'm ready to go, and I know on this cut where I want to go. I want to give her a little bit more waist. There it goes, just a little bit more. So what you're really doing is playing with your clipper combs to get different dimensions into this cut. Then your scissors, you're going to come along and finish it. That's really what it's all about. People overcomplicate it. It only gets complicated because now you're working, when you go to the next level with structure and all these things, and now you're getting too much into your head. Remember, they need their vitals done. The rest of it is a beautiful cut and style. I don't think that Mia cares. She says, well, she can't say, oh, well, you know what? I have been trimmed to perfection. She doesn't talk, right? She's not talking, but we know it. So as groomers, don't beat yourself up about something if it's not 100%. You're going to work towards that. But the whole idea is when you're working towards getting to your overall goal, there is no best groomer. We all do our best work at different times, right? There is no best this or that. It's the best is when you feel so great about it and you've given that dog the best experience, all right? So I've roughed in this side. I want to keep her legs in the front pretty full. We're going to work on one side, and then at the end I'll finish her. She's not going home half done, but for these purposes, let's go, all right? Now, a big thing I hear from groomers is, what are you using? Now, I have a little girl. If I were to go right to her hair and start to fluff her and start to tease her hair, yeah, he's going to start pulling and going, ow. Remember when you're working on these babies, you want to make sure that just use a little spray. And you find your favorite scissor spray, detangling spray. I like our Nature's just regular conditioning spray. It's light. It's going to take a curly coat like this on a just continuous sprayer, light mist. Remember, if you're spraying and it's like Windex and the dog's getting wet, it's too much. Go from far, a light mist, and there it goes. If you were, I don't know if you guys could really see, but when you pass it through the coat, it smells good. It's also opening up her hair, and then it's easy. 1, 2, 3. You should be able to fluff like this. If you're pulling and you're getting it tugged like this, you're going to get the dogs that are going like this because you're making them feel uncomfortable. So make them feel comfortable. And how do you do that? Use the tools that you have. Be ready. So when you're scissoring, you should have your fork, as I say, aka your comb, and then you should have something like your scissor, aka your knife, right? Like cooking. So start off, light mist. Any questions?
When using all the different clip-on combs,
Yep.
does the hair grow uneven?
You know, nothing is perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. All of these tools are made, some of them failed. They're made by people, machines. When you're using these combs, is every single hair perfect? Absolutely not. Because if your hand is rocking and rolling and you're not on a straight getaway, yeah, you might have hairs that are longer or shorter. It is actually, like I said, it's hard to be perfect here. So yes, they're uneven, but there's where we come in and we use our other tool, our eyes, our combs, and we start. I'm going to start right on the top line. And I'm going to get a nice scissor going. Are we ready for this? Here's where you say, okay, the hairs are uneven. Spray will also let you know which hairs are out of place. So once you spray, you can really look up and say, okay, where do I got to go? Okay, I got the top line, let's go. And then get after it. And there's where you're going to take those uneven hairs and really start to make them even. But guess what, guys? These are handcrafted haircuts. Nothing is ever perfect, right? You could work on a dog 1 month and then come back and be like, what the hell was I going through that day? This is not even. This isn't even. And it happens. Give yourself a break. That dog might have gone to the dog park and go, ooh, you got 3/8 of an inch on your belly and you got a half on your body. Ooh, nobody says that to them. They don't know that. We know that. So groomers, give yourself a break. All right. Any questions as far as scissor spray and preparation and combing and clip-on combs, wide blades? Been through a lot so far. The Artemis, anybody have questions on that? No, quiet room. Okay. So I like to start at the base, which is her trees, her legs. Everybody has a different process. Nothing is right or wrong. It's a pet trim. Remember, what's the most important thing? The vitals, right? Come on, Mia. Now, another thing, as we have this table, is positioning. How many of you groomers are like Tales from the Crypt? Hello. Why do we do this? Change the position and the height of your table. Be kind to yourself. That's why they make them electric. And then now they have dual settings and all these things. Magnetic, it's a lot. Now, I like to look at her foot. She's already been prepped. And use my curved shear. And this is a super curve. I'm going to use this super curved on the side of her foot. And what I'm going to do is spray it so that this is the base. This is the base of everything. Give it a nice spray. I like to hold their little fingers if they let me. She's new to me. So I train my dogs to let me hold their paw. There goes your fork combing through, right? You're not going to eat a steak and some might. No, you're going to carefully place your fork, and there we go. Go underneath that paw and just let that super curve do what it needs to do. And then bevel up a little bit because you want it off the floor. I mean, you want it to be functional, but you also want it to be pretty. So go under the paw and set that up. Set yourself up, go right into the toe, right to the nail, right to that nail, but bevel it. You don't want to cut straight down, because if you cut straight down, it's going to look too flush. We're looking for dimension here. So right to the toe, got right into the toe, and then give yourself what we do as pet groomers. There's 2 things we do. We want to get it done and have those beautiful marshmallow feet, but there's a process. It's slow and steady. And I'll tell you where I used to mess up. I used to go, man, how do they do those feet? And on my prep, I used to go on the prep and I would go too far in. I think this is because we're in basics. I would go too far into the sides of the feet, making a big hole here. And then when I put the foot down and I thought I was hotty-toddy, I was like, oh, man. And so what ended up happening is I had to match it. And then it looks like a candy corn. Looks like a big old triangle. And then you have the dog's feet, beautiful. Everything's round. And it's like matching an accessory. Now, I look like everything's matching. It's fluid. Now, if I were to have like a pink thing with some glitter on, you guys would be like, that's off. That is like what you do when you lift up the foot, you overdo your prep, and you're out of the ring of the paw. So what you want to do, this is very important because I know a lot of people struggle with this. When you're on your prep, you want to go around the paw. Do not go into the left. Do not go into the right. Go right to the toe and then work your way through slow on the feet. Because once you get that foot, everything else will follow really well. All right? Questions on that? Come on, baby. I actually got those super curves from Colin Taylor out of the UK. And so a lot of people wanted me to say this or that. Now, I do not. I am a fresh representative. We don't make a super curve yet. So if you don't make it for me, then I got to seek it out because that's the paintbrush I need. That's the reality of it. So in me seeking it out, I wanted to be able to answer this question on a demo as to where did you get that from? I got it from Colin Taylor. And why did I get it from Colin? Because I know what's going on in the U.S. I've tested every scissor here. Haven't tested the United Kingdom yet. And what I found was I was like, wow, they have some good stuff here. But nothing is really different from what they're doing to what we're doing. It really isn't. It's just a different name, a different maker. And each scissor company, where it's Zolita, whether it's Artero, whatever scissor company you like, their formulations are different. Just like there are Coca-Cola and there's Pepsi, right? 2 colas, 2 same colors. Some people like Pepsi, some people like Coke. What's the difference? Pepsi gets flat quick. I'm a Coca-Cola girl. So you can't tell me, oh, well, I like Collins scissors versus Fresh. Whatever you like. Just make sure you're taking care of it, taking care of the dog. Pick what you like. I'm not here to tell you what I like, because what I like, you might not like. Not everybody likes his haircut, but I like it. All right? So now you'll start to see, baby. You'll start to see that foot's going to start to come out. Let's work on this leg. And as she lays, you start to move, you have oils on your hands, and it starts to get mucky. So remember, use this is a greyhound, wide combs, fluff. You should be fluffing at all times. Now that I have her shape in and I've started that foot back there, that's exactly what I want. So, she's a bigger dog. What am I going to do? I need to go with some speed. Here we go. So I'm picking a fatter blade, longer, and now I'm going to get down into it. These are Utsumis. I have a mix of different scissors. I have been grooming for 20 years, and I haven't always been a fresh representative. So for me to tell you every single shear I use, yes, a lot of it I do use because they're great everyday shears. Great. But I have a different variety because I am an artist, and artists have many different paintbrushes. Someone would be lying to you, just like I work for Nature's, but sometimes I'm using iGroom. Sometimes I'm using Hydra, right? There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Questions? So I am using, what's our detangling, the right name for it? The Quicker Slicker, okay? Here it goes. Light mist, and now you could choose to go into, she has a big divot in this arm here, which now we're seeing that. I didn't see that initially, but look at, man, she's backing up into it. All the things are happening. And this isn't a show dog, guys. This is a real dog. I want to show you these things because how do we handle this? And she's backing up. I'm going to push her tushy a little bit this way. I'm going to get all nice and comfortable with her. Okay, now I have her in position. I'm holding her back here because she's standing. Now, remember, competition dogs, they have to be stacked. This girl here, she eats burgers. She goes in and out. Don't hold your pet trims to that level. Try to get there, but don't beat yourself up. We're working with a dog here that she has no idea what's going on right now. She's like, just do me, just do me. And here it goes. Come on down. Come on down. So think of a paint roller, right? If a paint roller, she has that texture paint roller. Think of a big fat paint roller. And all I'm doing is going down and keeping that nice shape very, very conservatively. Working the shape, working the shape, working the shape. Okay, and it comes together. Little moves come together very, very quickly. And here we go. Now people say, Jess, how do you scissor so fast? A lot of practice, a lot of time. And how did Whitney Houston sing the Star Spangled Banner? Some people just have a talent for doing things a little bit more than the others, right? This is just something I could do, and you're not going to worry. It's not going anywhere. That's my talent. But I went to Gabriel's shop yesterday, and he's carving out dogs, doing Pokemon dogs, and I'm going, holy cow. That's his talent. And a lot of the times as groomers, we want to be, we want to be something that we see, but at the end of the day, you don't have to be that something, but you can take a little bit of that and make your own version of yourself. Right, that toe's right over the table, right over here, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get after it. Beautiful. I'm using what she's doing to my advantage, right? And you don't really see this at seminars. You see the dog staying still, but this is okay. As she stands over here, I'm going right into the bevel. Look at how nice that foot's going. So when you're grooming, if you have a dog that's kind of all over the place, use what they're doing to your advantage. You have to know how to move. This is where your experience comes in. This is where you're the professional. I'm not sweating about it because it's okay. We're going to get done. And if I don't get done and it's not perfect, what is she? She's a nice pet trim. You can come back and work on it again. Work on it again. Keep working on it. All right. Come on, baby girl. All right. And also, when you have dogs that are not comfortable on the table, and she does have a big divot there, what do you want to do? Get your longest shears that you can actually handle and handle them. I can handle a nice long shear. Bring her up, and we go. It's a $100 shear. Is it the $100 shear or is it the groomer? Which one? Right, it's the groomer, but the shear has to work. Now, if I had a $1,000 shear with a bad sharpener that messed up my shear, which is the more value? Is it the Utsumi or the fresh? Right, it's the shear. It doesn't matter. It's the shear that actually got sharpened properly and it's working properly. So here it is. A tool is only a good tool if it's tuned up, working properly, and you're taking care of it. Doesn't matter how much it costs. There's no value to it if it is not doing what it needs to do. So as long as your tools are extensions of your hands and they're getting you to where you need to go, that's exactly what you needed to do, right? Doesn't matter how much it costs. If it works, it works. Don't equate your tool with cost. If it's a $400 clipper and it's getting you to where you need to go, that's all that matters.
You got someone that's having trouble finding shears that fit their hand. They have very small, thin hands. Is there anything you recommend?
So this is the thing that you see. We have a lot of different groomers coming now. We have men, we have women, we have big hands, small hands. So when you're holding a shear, what you want is you have your ring finger, then you have your pinky holding that shear. Bring your finger in, and your pointer finger over here should not be past that shank. If it's over here, the scissor doesn't fit you, because once it starts going up and down, if your finger's there, guess what? You can sit down for a second. Guess what? You're going to be bumping into that. It's not going to work for you, right? So how do you fit a shear into your hand? Has to work, proper hold in position, just like this, and then your thumb goes through. I don't have a jelly guard here because I don't really need it. I'm not slipping out of my, ring finger. I'm not slipping out. It doesn't matter. It can stay right there. But my thumb is the guider. So as my thumb is here, I just want to do this. See? Not all the way through. I see people go all the way through like this, and they're engaging their, look, it's weird for me, engage your entire hand. So don't engage your entire hand. You just want to guide that handle down. So in fitting your scissor, if you're not finding shears, she's like, get on with it. If you're not finding shears that fit your hand, then you have to go and fit them and go with a real professional. I work for Fresh, but Evolution shears, oh my goodness, if you like a swivel, I've never seen somebody fit a shear like an Evolution, like that booth. They do a great job. And so when you find professionals that can fit you like that and they can really spend time with you, and they know, just like Groomers Pro, they do this because they know their product's good. They know they want to offer their, those are the companies you want to buy from. So I don't know which shear company will fit that particular groomer, but there are companies that will help you all over the world. Do that. There we go. So I use what my good friend Pina says, cold water, just like your husband's. You get them into a pool and you put cold water, everything goes and rescinds back. So that is the best tool that she's taught me, and I'm going to pass it on to you. Cold water in the mister for static, right back. No problem. No problem. And, the thing is that you want to be able, and a lot of people, like I said, if you're in the show ring and you need a certain spray up or you need something to go on that is niche, you don't want to have a lot of weight in the coat. So some people will say, well, I don't want so much weight in the coat, X, Y, Z. Remember, they're pet trims. What do you care about the weight in the coat? This dog is going to sit down on Netflix and chill at 12 o'clock. Well, it doesn't matter with these pet trims as much unless you're going for a specific look. Now I'm using my curve chunker, right? I got my shape in. I want it to be really forgiving. I'm using a curve chunker to keep that shape and take all the sticky outies. It is a Fresh curve chunker. I know you're trying to look at what brand. And it is a prototype. So I also get to test what's out there so that when you put it in your hand, it makes sense. And the reason why I test them is, look at the speed. They say if it can go through Jessica, it can go through anyone, right? Because most groomers are not going to groom this quickly with a curved chunker. So now that I got the shape, there it goes. Accentuate that shape. Think of more of the shape than anything else. Create your shape and then go to town and just sculpt it out. Good girl. Yes, a good girl. And sometimes with chunkers, you'll see me pulling out a little bit, a sifting motion. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not creating any divots, your chunkers are the same as your thinners. The difference between a chunker and a thinner is one has a thicker notch and one has a thinner notch. That's all. The difference between the two is that. Two different makers, it doesn't matter. But now with this one, I'm going to debulk. Let me show you here, right on her eyes. Be able to open up her eyes and debulk. We're concentrating more on the tools and what we use and things like that. Definitely will get her done. But that's the main goal. So now all of it's getting debulked. I'm adding shape. I'm getting there. Going around her muzzle. So it's all coming out. Now. Something like this. Now. This is what's trending now, these nice donut muzzles, these high tops. This is what's trending. And I tell you that because you said, what do you mean it's trending? When I started grooming, it was these big old mustaches, these handlebars. There's a lot. You used to see the cockapoos. They just had a lot of flap going on. And now, it's take it off, make it look wispy, blow out the face. And we know it's trending for reasons. We have groomers that are doing it. It looks beautiful. Everybody wants to do that now. So now that it's trending, me as a groomer, I've had to change to what the trend is, right? Exactly. So now I've got that shape out, and I have to carefully now, we don't want to lose bulk here, so you have to be careful when you're going with your chunker here. I want to get shape. So go over, and I'm getting that shape in. There it goes. That's it. Look at how fast that shape came. This little bit created it right there. So be careful. Be careful, because you can get, like me, scissor happy. I can do it, and then I'm like, oh, there's a toothpick left. You don't want that. Happens all the time. So as speed is my biggest asset when I come to scissoring, it is also my biggest downfall. And I will tell you that because I just want to keep on going and going and going. And when you have a style like this that needs a specific level of you have to be conservative here. There's where I'm going to switch the shear into a thinner, okay? And now I'm going to refine it. And I'm really going to get into this. And I say, okay, the shape is good, the length is good. I know that if I keep on going with that chunker, this face is going to go bye-bye. It's going to go too small. It's not going to be, and I'm going to beat myself up and I'm going to be like, oh, I messed that dog up. And then the owner's going to come in and be like, oh my God, you look so cute. And you're going to be like, oh, I spent 3 hours, don't do that. Just know that you have time to fix it on the next try. And hopefully you'll realize through trial and error, like what we do with our prep, that you know what? What I realize is, with these haircuts, I need to have a little bit more of a conservative edge. So I keep myself on the thinners. This is why when you're watching Jess Rona, and I reference this because this is more for a trending style haircut, you see her a lot with thinners because she wants to take a little bit out to make a different shape and then go with there and soften it up. Any questions? Now, Asian fusion. There's another one. We could take this to an Asian fusion where there's these hard lines, really refined, and you go into those super curves. It goes to super curves, and they go up on these crazy angles. So here's another thing. I can use this super curve all over the body, right? But I'll tell you, when I go to sharpen this 3 or 4 times, bye-bye. Because there's too much of an arc in this scissor to be able to duplicate it over and over and over. This is a specialty. Remember what I said to you about the Met Gala, the yoga pants, and the wedding, right? So this here is the Met Gala. This is a specialty tool, specialty angle for a specialty style called Asian fusion. But we love them. It helps our wrists. It's good. It gives us a good arc. But you will not be able to replace this shear because it only has a certain shelf life. So that... I don't know what the specific curve on it, but I know that it's super. And you see like Olga with the Zolitas. You see a lot of that coming out now. And when I see new up-and-coming groomers come, and they're like, they can only scissor on a super curve. I'm like, no. You see, we keep on changing here. So you should not have one paintbrush for everything. Because then when you go to find that one paintbrush and you scour the earth, whether it's going to this continent or another, you're not going to find that shear again. You have to buy it again. And if they still make it, then now you've taken your grooming and you can only do one thing. You should always be able to have multiple tools to get this done. Right, Mama?
Does the amount of teeth on the shears matter?
Oh, yes. The amount of teeth matter. So the more teeth, the more you're going to get into that real estate. The less teeth, the less. It's going to go shorter, right? The thinner the teeth are, the more refined. The thicker, the more choppier it gets, the more chunker it gets. So, but this is where you want to go in, and you could debulk. Get that chunker going. Get that shape going. So it's going right into the crest, into her head, and look. Okay? So there's your chunker, and now we'll do the same thing. And this is just to show you guys to test. Same thing, and here we go. How many times did I have to do this? Look at this. Look what I'm getting. Okay? So there's where you have to place and say, Scott, this lady's coming in 10 minutes. Are you going to be with a freaking blender or whatever there? Or are you going to be smart and say, all right, this lady's coming. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get all the shape. I'm going to get everything done because this dog is getting ornery. The lady's coming in. It's very forgiving. I know that this is the money maker, right? The face is where it really needs to happen. And then you go to town. And following her shape, just following her shape. And now, a lot of people say, Jess, how do you keep the continuity? As you can see, my hand is not really moving. Look at my arm. Here it goes. My body's moving. The reason why I wear these pants is so you guys could see my legs moving. And they look so pretty. But really, it's to show you that I am moving. Okay, I'm going down, 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 down. I'm just handling right now the top for her head. Is she coming together? So this is the moneymaker, right? Because I'm right here. This is where I've just lived. I've did all the roughing in, right? You have to keep a chronological pace in your head, especially if you're talking, especially if you're doing a live online. Those things are going to take away from the haircut. I clearly cannot focus 100% on this haircut because I keep stopping and going. That's like having a client right next to you. That's why we don't have the clients there. Even if they're the best clients, you keep stopping and going. You're not in your zone. I'm not in the zone of this dog where I'm like, really in. Before I was prepping and somebody was like, wow, Jess is so quiet. And that's it. Yes, I get quiet because now I have to go into that space, that zone where I'm really, really getting lost in the haircut. And that's really where the beauty and the magic happens. You get lost in a haircut, and for me, I do it with music, right? I put on a tune according to the day. I say, this is a nice day. It's a great day. I'm like, it's a Sade day. It's a John Mayer day. And then I get into that haircut, and I get lost in it. And as I get lost in it, I start refining, and I come out of it and go, whoa, I did that, right? So there is a portion of it where you do and you should get lost in the haircut. For our purposes here, we're learning, right? So in learning, we're learning different tools on how to get, when you're getting lost, how to really refine it. So now I've done all of that work. I'm using fresh chunkers, going into a fresh 8-inch Cuomo, and now I'm going to take that and now we're going to refine it. Let's really take those sticky outies in her head, and now you start to see it come in, right? It's hard to see what you see, but here we go. Here's her shape. It's in. We don't want it to go too low. And now underneath. Get all of this stuff. Remember here when I started, that's all been taken out. So I already know that when I go into this head here, I can take her muzzle down, and I know that this has been taken care of. I can go comb down and go straight across. And look, everything's meeting together. It's like a puzzle. Everything. This line goes here. This line goes here. Everything starts to match. It's like paint by numbers. And you go, oh, wait a minute. I set this up this way. This to this. The neck bone goes to the foot bone. All of it. You know what I mean. There's a good old song that says all those things. You lower the mic a little so it stops going. All right. Now, going into a smaller comb. Now, let's really get those eyes out of there. Got this side of the head. Now, my right side is my good side, right? I'll do everything great on the right. The worst part is your handicap side. There's where you're going and you're on a highway and you're like, this is great. And then your friend calls, your husband calls, you're like, damn, I missed the exit. Don't miss the exit. Here's how we're going to attack. We're going to get into the eyes, but let's go into the handicapped of it. I'm still on the head. Now, come in. Great for your super curves. Go open up that eye in the corner there. Open it up. It's coming. I want to make sure I have a really nice visor there so she's not looking like she's been in the wind and pushed back like that. And so once I get to this side and I've now opened up the eye, now this area right here is the area of opportunity to match this side. Even if this side is not 100% done, that's fine. You're working it, building it like a staircase, one step, next step, next step, so you get to your final top step and finish. Go to the side here, work it from the back to the front, all right? Back to the front. This is my handicap side. It's the left side. Working it from the back to the front, I'm just going to take off a little and start matching into that eye. And there we go. All right? And once I take off a little, I'm going to center her head and say, oh, wow, I'm going into that angle. And then come back in over here and match and say, now she's with me. Okay? Now she's with me. Once I get both sides working, the right side, which is my good side, and then now I say, okay, I have to match it. Okay? So when I get the question is, do the clipper combs uneven? The side of the face is not going to be the same. You try to make it get there, but remember, it's a pet trim. If you're going to start now going in and using a ruler, you're going to be there all day. You're just going to make yourself nuts. So, any questions so far with your handicap side? How to work that through? Handicap side, fluff, 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 fluff. And now you're checking the balance, right? Checking to see where she's at. Now that eye is opening up, here to here. Am I balanced on both sides? And go from there. Once I know, I says, oh, I got to pick up the time. Remember, your curves, your straights, they're going to be the least forgiving. They're going to make those shapes. Chunkers and thinners are going to be the most forgiving. So if you have a fidgety dog, keeps fidgeting like this, and you feel like you're going to make big trouble for yourself, and you don't feel comfortable, change and do it on your chunkers for that dog. But you should be able to know how to switch from curve to chunker to have all your tools. But if that one tool is getting you through, then use that. top of the head, down into the ear, and flow out. Top of the head, into the crest, and she's moving down. And as she goes into that neck, I'm blending. Blending, blending, blending. And then over here to the side, blending. Coming into that neck area, coming down, in, blending, into the chest, 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 and there she goes. Okay? So that is coming right out. Now her mouth is open. I'm going to come up and start this way. Now, I don't know her. I don't know what she's going to do. Grab her lip. All of this stuff out. That's going to start making the muzzle line. So this right here, just by doing that little cut right there, where is that going? That's going right here. Whoop, whoop. You don't have to make the noises. I like to do that. So that is going to take her muzzle now, and it starts to make sense, right? So now the top of the head into the mouth. Here's your circle coming along. In from the muzzle all the way through to the ear, up to the top of the head. It's all coming together as a circle, and I'm going to keep on working that. Maybe I want more of a bell head. Maybe I want more of a circular head. That's your stylistic choice as a groomer, all right? Keep spraying, light mist, fluff, 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 and up, 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 up. Now, go in and refine. With all your different tools, you can start refining this. Now I'm going to go into, maybe not a super curve, a smallish here, because now I'm going to go into the mouth area. Here it goes. Refine this muzzle. Front and back. Opening up the eyes. Don't forget the eyelashes. Ask your clients if they want to keep them. And go. Give her that visor. Open up her eyes. Here she goes. She's coming. She's coming to the party. And that's going to create her expression. Hi. And this is the beauty of what we do, guys. We're creating her look, her personal look. And the best thing about it is you can change it. One day she could be a Poodlington. One day she could be this. Whatever was working for Mia and her parents. Okay, using the back of my shear, fanning up and over the eyes like this. Cut, 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 cut. Fan it up right over here. Don't go too much into here. Don't go much too in the visor. Live right over here, right? It's kind of what they say in Hitch. Don't do all of this. Stay right here, all right? Questions? So I'm just working what I've set in, again, like I roughed in the body, the head. Just coming. I don't. I go right. I go close to the corner of the eyes right here, left and right. And you can take a little trimmer, okay? Turn it on and do a light scoop in the eyes, just like this. What you're really trying to do is hollow out a space behind the muzzle, right here, behind it. Come from behind the muzzle. Leave the muzzle alone. It's not this. It's right behind it to create more volume. That makes sense? So come right in here behind, scoop, scoop, scoop. And once you're done with that, you'll comb and see, I really didn't touch that muzzle. I'm touching behind it. Stay behind it and keep on combing and fluffing up.
How far into the corner of the eye do you prevent that hooded look?
To prevent it?
Yeah, so you know when you do the dog, you put them in the kennel.
Yep.
And then you look at them and it looks like you did nothing on the side of the eye.
Yes, and it drags. So what I like to do, what Erin is saying is when you're trying to create the visor and you're trying to keep a shape, where is it where it's not functional and it starts to look drabby and droopy and the eyes are looking sad and they're going too much in the corner? You want them to look bright and happy. So there's where these corner of the eyes matter. So when you have this hangover, the best thing to do is take this piece, this portion of your super curved or curved, doesn't have to be super, and really keep angling it in, right in here to that. And go this way, right? Clip, 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 clip. You're almost going to create almost like a C to it. So you have the hood, then you have this little arc. Now, when you bring her face forward, the main thing to avoid that hangover is combing. Combing, chunkering, and blending. Here it goes. Once you create that shape, which it's already in, fluff, 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 fluff. I feel like this looks great right here. Looks great right now. Now, how do you prevent it? Take your chunker and just take that bulk and blend it in. Keep blending it in, almost rolling it in and beveling it into that eye. Does that make sense to you guys? Where you're taking that corner and beveling it right into the corner of the eye, just as such. You're debulking. Or, if you take your thinner and just work the thinning shear in the corner. Use the thinning shear, just like this. Or if you want to go in, cut inside. Bring it down. debulk. Did you guys see that? I went into the corner of the eye, 1, 2, debulked and took it out. So I didn't mess with her shape. I'm just taking out a little bit of bulk in that eye. Okay. And so as I comb, I start to see I have my nice visor, but I'm open here. Does that make sense to everybody? The answer good for you, Erin? And so I keep checking, checking, checking. If I have a little droop here, again, I'm going to go in with that tip and curve, go to the corner. If you're looking at a side profile, go into this like a C, like it arcs around in, and stay right here within the well of the eye. Don't go too far in, a little bit. Keep combing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, until you don't see any overhang. Come here. Look in the face. There we go. So if you're good with your chunkers, you can do it on any coat. If you don't have a forgiving hand, it's definitely going to be a thinner, okay? Because chunkers have those big divots, and if you're on a drop coat, they show everything. Think of a Yorkie, a Shih Tzu. If you don't know how to use your chunkers, it'll be big old divots in that coat and not look good. So you have to be, what I do is I can use this chunker on a drop coat, but you have to stay above the hair. You can't dig into the hair. So if you have a Shih Tzu or a Maltese that's a little bit of wave, you can get away with it, right? So how do you get away with it? Stay on top. Just on top here, like right here, stay on top. Don't go into it like this and really go into that. You're going to make divots all over the place. Not with it. That's where you go into the refine. And then you can go into that drop coat and really finesse it. So drop coat, novice, fine, refine, thinner. More of an advanced, I can handle a chunker on both. You can do it. But again, there's a gray rule to that. So this is how the blending goes. Once you fluff up, we've already got this in here. We've got her nice profile. You see it's coming in. It's really nice and deep. Now we're going to blend this here and roll it so she has nice full cheeks. So here's where I'm going to go in, again, with a curve. And I'm just going to take that eye, right from that corner, and hold, and just start to blend. Now, I can go this way and make it flat, or I can arc it a little bit like this and really accentuate that shape. Just changing the position of your shear. This is going to be one way, this is going to be another way, and you're going to create all of that angle, all that dimension. So here, down and roll up. If I were to go flat away across, even though it's a curved shear, it's not going to give me that really nice visor. So the sad droop, here it goes. Pass it along, and yes, blend it all the way through. Come on this side. There it goes. Right from the eye, I get a good hold. And blend it all the way through and down. Arc, 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 arc. And start creating her shape. Remember, you want to keep that donut muzzle, so really refine just the tippy tips to keep that shape. Where are you going?
Somebody was asking about eyelashes.
Eyelashes. Her eyelashes are still there. When you're doing the face, go to a refined, detailed, small shear. The smaller the scissor, right, scissors, 6.5 or lower. Shears, 6.5 or up. But again, this is potato. We're all going to get it. A scissor shear, that really is the true way to differentiate the two. So go to your small scissor and really get through. If they don't care about the eyelashes, take them off. If they want to keep them, comb, refine, hold them, and then cut around them if it's that, important to them. So you just have to go a lot slower and a lot more refined when you're working with a client that wants to keep eyelashes. Oh, there's so many out there. I mean, that's the personal preference. What's a good sneaker? Right? What's a puppy cut? Exactly. That's going to be what fits and holds well in your hand. And for me, like I said, a lot of us have either iPhone or Android, right? iPhone is user-friendly. Anybody could use it. Really good interface. But it has its limitations as far as customization. So there's two different buyers. One wants custom and then maybe 50 screens, and one wants easy and streamlined. Neither one is better or worse. It's what's best for you. So I'm an iPhone girl. I like user-friendly. That's why I picked Fresh, because it's user-friendly. It's easy. it works, it's affordable, that's what works for me. But if you feel like you want to get these pieces and just get whatever you like, going in and just blending. Now really refining. And remember, there's stages and levels. First, it's the prep, right? We did the first half. Then it's the dry and the fluff and the comb and the line combing. And then we go back in and say, okay, now it's roughing in the coat. Then from roughing in the coat, then it's roughing in, shaping, refining, finishing. Do you guys see all the things that we do in one groom? And then some of you want to charge $40 for it? Shut your mouth. Don't you ever do that. Right? This is a lot of work. Look at the strategy it's taking this one woman to just get this one head done. Now, all of that strategy is being put out now, and it's itemized for you guys. And you're like, oh. When you do that with your clients and you itemize what the heck you've done to their dog, and you specifically have whipped their shampoo, come on, guys. There's where you're going to commandeer the big bucks, because you're giving that dog an experience that, I mean, really, who's doing that nowadays? So that is where you're going to set yourself apart from everyone else if you're practicing and putting this all together. If you put it all together and you say, I just come from Groomers Pro, I'm whipping, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm using natures now, I'm doing all types of things that I never did, you're going to get a different result. You're going to get something different. You have to keep digging in the dirt to put in new plants to get different flavors. That's why we have breeds, right? Okay, this Westie has a little tick. All right, do them with this dog. And that's what breeders do. They try to get the most perfect version of that breed. Now it's a free-for-all with all these designer dogs, but it's all right. It's all right. That's why we have the frontline groomers here, the pet groomers, to handle it. How's that head coming out? Is that good? Are we coming? Ears. Let's talk about ears. I will perfect this at the end, but let's get to the learning. Ears, ears, ears. Good tip on the ears. Now, when you're doing an ear, comb, comb, comb. Been touching her. She's already, look, she has already been prepped and everything. Remember what I told you about the scissor? If you have a $1,000 scissor and a bad scissor sharpener, what's the value of that shear if it's not working? Zero. Right, you could have the best structured dog, you get the best coat, the best shampoo. If you don't do a good prep or a good line combing, and you're in that ring, or you have that owner, right? You're competing with your own self, and you go like this, and there's a big old knot. You're done. You're done. Is that right? You're disqualified off the show floor, off the comp.
If they're judging, yeah. They go to judge you and they find a mat, then not that you're disqualified, but you won't play. So they won't even finish judging your dog.
That's it. It's done, right? That's it. The date is over. So the minute you're in a competitive ring and they find a mat or the date is over. I'm going to keep going. The minute you find that happening, it's over. You're not going to place. So think about that. You could have the best model, right? You could be Tom Brady and have Giselle, and you're still going to get divorced. You see what I'm saying? See? So as groomers, we keep on trying to find the very best, the very best, the very best. There's a many of the very best in every booth, in every place. There's a hit. There's a hit on each one of these racks. What really makes the difference is you and how you put it together and how you're putting it. There's lyrics to everything, right? What's the difference between "'Cause I'm happy"? What a simple song. Why is it so poignant in our market? Because the way Pharrell put that together. So the difference between you and me, we're all groomers in this building. The difference is the way I've put it together and the way I've looked for products and the way I've tested products, I'm getting the hits. Everything here is a hit, 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 hit. How could I possibly fail? I've got the best of the best. You can fail if you're not a hit. You ever think about that, right? Last night I went to Denny's. I'm not even going to talk about that. Got in late, trying to do all the things, visit all the friends, and what happens? You eat something that you don't always eat. And so you've changed your whole protocol. Now I got to come here and stand up in front of you, and I can't be running to the bathroom every 5 seconds. So what happened there? Now I went to a different place. I wanted to do all different types of things. I'm having fun, good intentions, like we do with our dogs, right? You got all these new tools. You're trying to do chunkers, frothing, and all those things. And you go, oh, God, this dog looks terrible. I messed it all up. Or you're in the bathroom for a little bit. But guess what? We have more time to fix it. We have more time to get better. So again, I use that analogy. Don't beat yourself up. You might have a night where you have diarrhea, or you might have a day where the dog has diarrhea and you're not able to get to that haircut. But guess what? you can start and try again. And just like you're in the competitive ring and maybe they find a knot in the mat you don't place, guess what? I've seen groomers come back and kick butt and they realize, they go, you know what? That groom, that structure was perfect, but that one knot. So don't go too fast. It is all about the quality of the groom, not how you, I did this, and it doesn't matter. Give yourself the time that you need. Me versus you are two different things. All right, now I got that head. Let's go into the ear. Any questions? I use the same spray on all the dogs. This spray to me is universal, like an iPhone or an Android. It works on all the dogs. It's super light. That's what I like, according to what I'm working on. I don't have clients that are like, ew, they're not so particular. They just want to see their cute dog. So it's really, again, that's a personal preference. I can't tell you to wear arch support Birkenstocks. I didn't want to wear these damn things, but they make me feel better. So I wear the cool pants and the ugly shoes, but you know what? It works. It works. So if you have an ugly tool, but it has worked for you, then do it.
How often are you switching out your shears? I mean, completely.
Well, you can't go by me because I scissor like forget about it. But normally the cycle of shears goes according to, again, what you're doing. I'm going to go into the ear real quick. So I go every month for scissor sharpening, but I scissor a lot. I have groomers that come in once a year and sharpen, once every 6 months. Again, it's according to like how much do you exercise, right? How fluid are you? How much fiber do you eat? These are hard questions because everybody's different. So when you I have shears for 20 years, and I choose to go with fresh because they're tradable shears. Once I'm done with them and their shelf life is going, I go, here you go, $50, and they send me a whole brand new shear back. So that answers the question. And nowadays, as you guys have noticed, we're in a time where we don't have, like, remember the old Osters and all the Andis and all these? 20 years those clippers went. Now, same with the phones. You had an iPhone 13. We're already on the 14. I'm already behind over here. So that is how our tools are moving, right? Tradable blades, tradable shears. So again, just like this haircut is trending, and it wasn't when I started, it was all the other differences. Our haircuts are trending. Our shears are trending and moving. Just keep on moving with the times and knowing what's current and picking the hit each year as to what you like. 3 years ago, I would have told you it was this clipper that was the bomb.com. And all of you probably saw me at Marco's thing, like, this is the bomb. It was then. But now, in 3 years, I'm like, this is the bomb this year. And maybe I look flippant, but that is what's happening. People have noticed, companies have noticed, groomers, man, they need these things. Look at this. They're more into dogs. We have dog shows out there. We have Pooch Perfect, all these things going on. So there's a highlight on us as groomers. And now they say, the companies are going, well, this is $1 billion industry. Let's give them what they want. And guys, you don't realize that we're getting what we want. When have you ever had a curved chunker or a curved this, or this, all the super curve? Now we have them. So they're listening. Now it's our job to put it all together on the coats. All right, let's get into the ear. It's been a while, Mia, I know, it's trying. Ear, flip that ear out, and you could see here. You see that leather? It's not a lot. There's not a lot going on here. You could see the top shape, and then right over here is where I have to cut. So when you do not have a blueprint because you don't know the dog, go with what the last groomer did. And if you can't find a rhyme or a reason, cut straight out, just like that. See that? And if I want to go in deeper, I can. Go in, make sure the line from the cheek, it all comes together. It makes sense on this side, and there it goes. And as I put the ear down, look what has happened. From here to start, it's giving me my line. I'm going to start right over here, come on over here, and then look. So that makes me look like a rock star, like, damn, was it that easy? It is that easy when you have the blueprint, right? Some people look at me and they go, how are you married to your wife? And I go, girl, I got the blueprint. 20 years in, I got the blueprint. 20 years as a groomer, you guys know, and you have your clients like, how did you do that? How did you just take the lip and take all the hair out? We are the professionals. That is why when your client presents you with a laundry list on a Post-it card and they're like, can you do this? No, I can't do that. It's not the way I groom. I'm an artist. I cannot do what your Post-it note to say because now you're micromanaging me. So now we should just go work in, a 9-to-5 job, which we've all avoided because we don't want to be micromanaged. So at that point, when you get that client, you say, listen, I had a neighbor that had I don't remember, a legato. I have a legato. I mean, she came to my house, to my driveway, to tell me that she wanted me to groom her legato. I've never met this person in 8 years, 9 years I'm on this street. And she's telling me about this legato. Mrs. Seagram, oh my goodness. And she's going to get the dog. And can I do the dog? And how I do the dog? I'm in the middle, probably with no bra in the middle of my driveway. Like, is this really happening right now? Okay, got the name. Going to do the legato. She's right there. Get up. Now the dog comes. And as the dog is ready to be groomed, we have our first consultation call. And during the consultation call, this is what she tells me. My breeder said that she wants you to use the number 7 on the dog. I said, what? This is a puppy. A what? You want me to do a 7F on a puppy? I said, is she crazy? And then I said, so, okay. Now I'm trying to qualify this and say, is this going to work for me? Because we got to do that too. Is this a right marriage? And she keeps on telling me, there goes the overhang right there, Erin. Come over to the side and bring it in, right over here, okay? She tells me that I have to do X, Y, Z. She's giving me a virtual Post-it note. What? Nuh-uh. This happened maybe a year and a half ago, and I'm saying, what's she talking about, Willis? I don't work like that. Now I'm in a sticky situation. It's a neighbor. She knows where I live. She follows me. How am I going to get out of this? Now I'm in an entanglement, like Jada and Will. I'm in an entanglement here, and I didn't want to be entangled. She came to me with this problem. She presented a problem, or what I say is a problem, because now it's futile. I am just a doorknob. I'm going to do it this way, and you have a legato, and you want me to do what your breeder says, breed standard. Maybe I've never worked in a legato. Maybe I don't like that breed. You've never asked me if, can you buy me a drink? You just rolled up to my driveway and said, you're going to do my dog. You want your clients to be say, hey, Nicole, can I buy you a drink? You like this dog? You get along with this dog? Do you think you take my dog? And then you go, yes. Like, I've never groomed Ludo, but this is a guy that we get along. There's a chemistry there. So that is a dog that I know we're a match. I took this dog and I said, we're a match. She's a sweetheart. We're getting it done. She's being really, really calm and patient through all my talking. That's a match. But I had that legato. I'm like, it's not a match. I'm not going to do a 7F on a puppy already. I don't know why you're doing it. The breeder's involved, and it kept going and going. And I said to her, here's what I want to do. I said, I want to keep you as my neighbor first. I think it's more important to keep you as my neighbor because you're going to live here, and that's what I says, honestly, this isn't the way I groom. And I went into my whole spiel, and she says, you know what? Thank you so much for being honest with me. And she went away. We just had a party in my neighborhood. She did not attend, but she sent money for the whole neighborhood. And she saw me. She says, hi, Jen. We're neighbors. We're friends. No offense. You understand what I'm saying? I look the way I look. Somebody told me to wear a wig and wear a dress tomorrow because it made them feel better. I would say, exactly. So why is it as groomers we accept that? Why do we accept that? Exactly. Think of it that way. This haircut, you're going to see it. It's my style. Try to mimic. It doesn't matter. But the preparation and what I'm telling you of how you get there, apply that. That's the real lesson here. How? Because if you get beat down by a client, by your friends, by your family, those are also the curmudgeons. Woo! If you get beat down by them, who's getting to the dog? See? So the biggest part of the groom that everybody misses is this: I'm the biggest tool here. I'm the biggest tool here. And if I mentally cannot get there because you've broken me down, you've broken my craft down, you've broken down my value because you're trying to micromanage me, then, well, I might as well just go. It's done. And that is important. And those are the things within these, seminars I feel like we miss, we lose. Anybody have questions about that? All right. Bottom of the muzzle right over here. I'm going to go on my super curve, and I'm going to go this way, right? That tongue is out. I'm going to go up and out. She knows I'm coming. She's already, and up, and turn it around, right into the nose on the other side. And there we go. Beautiful. A lot of the times when you're grooming dogs that are finicky too, you'll get this. If she doesn't see you coming, you're in like Flint. There you go. Think about that, guys. Nobody got that. Nobody got that. So basically, if she doesn't see you coming, you got it. You're going to go. So if you're coming from the back and she doesn't see you, whoop, there you are. I'm already moving. A lot of the times when we're bathing and we're approaching, we're coming right from the front. Right in, like a big old airplane. But if you have one of those fidgety dogs and you come in from the back and you're like, come here, lady, and you start getting after it from the back, she's like, I don't know what's happening, but I like it. You see? So change your position. Sometimes it's not the dog that needs to move. You need to move. You need to make this dog feel comfortable, right? And again, there is a halfway to that, because then I see groomers that the dog is like this, like Ludo on the floor, and they're on the floor, and it's nah, they're going to go watch their owner now. It has to be a happy medium. Is it fidgety? Is that dog fidgety because it's scared, or is it the process, or is it just being lazy? So again, qualify that within your client, and don't lose your mind and say, oh my goodness, this dog is so hard to do. And then you release the client because you internally got frustrated. Let the dog work with the dog. Sometimes when I'm in my mobile, I'll get a new puppy and I'll see, my assistant bathing, and it's fidgety, and it says, talk to the dog. Talk to the dog. And all of a sudden, the whole thing changes. Hey, Mia, what's going on? And she's like, you know me? I know you. And then Mia goes, oh, yes, I like this. This is a great experience. And then Mia starts to come together, and it starts to be so futile, right? So just talking and seeing them as what they are, this is somebody's pet. I don't know who it is, but she's here. She's working with me. So again, not only is it me that has to come to the table, but this is the other star of the table, because she has to endure what's going on up here. And there is no dialogue to say, hey, listen here, you better keep it together, because if you don't do this right, I'm going to look terrible. You understand what I'm saying? You got to keep it together. Marco's paying a good amount to get this all done. We can't reason with this. And if all of my anxiety is coming off on this dog, like all of that I'm feeling is now being transferred onto this dog through my hands, guess what? You're going to get a fidgety dog. The reason why she settles down is she's like, oh, Jessica's got me. And the minute I touch this dog, because I'm confident, I grab her and I go, come here, baby. Come here. And she's like, oh, she knows. So even though we're on a first date and she's never had me groom her before, she's like, this woman knows what she's doing because of the way I'm approaching her, right? The approach of it all. Refining. Going into that muzzle with the chunker now, getting all the sticky outies into that, using that curve and that tip. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the tongue. It's doing its own little thing over there, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't make it a thing if it's not a thing. But if you have, that's a thing, right? So don't start getting heavy. That's when you go to a trimmer. That's when you go to this little baby over here, and I did it earlier because she was a little fidgety. And I went in, and I just gently started to pick her hair. She goes, see, hey? See, what she does? See? So before I presented with her, I found those little idiosyncrasies that she had to respect her, so that this didn't look like, So it starts to become futile when I'm not listening to her. And I know she didn't love when I saw her, so she's had a lot of brown around her mouth. But I've been able to alleviate it slowly but surely, even though she has a little bit of a facial issue. Doesn't that look pretty, guys? It's going to look pretty. Now, as you look head on, go back in when you chunker. Now, I did the outside of the ear. Here, you're going to go underneath and grab. Get it. Remember, 3-dimensional. Give it a really nice bevel right in here. Good. Turn her head from the back all the way through in a nice, almost like a half U. Come in, and then from here, come on, start to swipe. You could start to see already the crest go down. And so remember, everything is like paint by numbers. Holding her chin and coming right down into the top line. Going down, holding this here. Now here goes where the form goes. Look at the knee. Look at me going. I'm going. All my thumb is working. I'm going to work it back up, work it back up, work it back up, work it back up, work it back up. I can keep going all day long. So it's not my hand that's moving, it's my body. Remember in Little Mermaid, Ursula? Body language. Always remember that when you're scissoring. Get it? Yes, I know she's about me. She's all about it. So it's all body language. Now here we go. We got into this leg, got the head all set up, and we could do the other ear. And now as she's facing me, I could spray, I can't spray. Now she's head on. Here it goes. From here, right from in here, and we're going to go down. Watch the position. Set it up. She can stay still. It's not a problem. All the way down. And back up, and I'll work my way up. The way I'm getting the continuity is that I'm moving up and down like a lazy Susan. I'm the one moving while she's staying stable. If I'm doing this, you ever try to draw a straight line? You think you have it. You're like, I got it. And you're like, oh, damn. Same with the scissors. Don't try to draw a straight line. All you really want to do is take it, position yourself, and it's all your body work. Holding it steady. My hand is steady. My thumb is steady. She's a little fidgety, and she will calm down. And here it goes. Down over the leg, meet it to the floor. And around. Keep it going. Go, go. Questions so far? Yeah. Yes.
Spending too much time on that and making the top side muzzle line, the upper jaw straight.
Yes. So I've been able, I don't know if anybody's seeing it little by little, I've been keep getting into the mouth. I went up. I do it in stages so that it doesn't become a thing, right? It's like when you give, I have a child or two, and when you have to give them medicine or you have to do things that they don't like cutting nails became a thing for my daughter, right? I made sure she showers so it's nice and soft, just the same as a strategy with an animal. It's nice and soft, and when she goes, show me. She shows me after the time. She goes, no, 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 mommy cuts too tight, meaning she has a trauma now. The other mom is cut too tight, and now she doesn't trust me. I says, trust me. I shake her hand out like a dog, feel my energy, and I says, I got you. I promise you. But there's a dialogue there. So once we get there, I snip, snip, snip. So where does that correlate here? I know already, to show she's a little bit with the clipper. You can see she starts going like that. So remember what I said. Grab them from the back, and they don't expect it. See this hand here? Whoop, right into the lip, and right there. Never knew that was coming. She had no idea it was coming. Whoop. You were right? These clippers are, again, these are Schönbaum. They're just a nice little clipper. I picked them up at the last show. Really cute. Really nice, quiet, low vibration. This is good for carving. You know, actually going right into here, her stop, and really detailing it. So look, I'm able to really start to detail. And now, you can get into a lot of things. You can go in and you could start skimming if you want. There's so many techniques to finish this dog, but which is the one that's going to be right for her. So there goes what I did for her muzzle. Did we see her eyes popping out? You guys asked about eyelashes. Come close. Look at these eyelashes. All of that scissoring. Look at them right over here. I'm going to roll them. Look at this. Look at this eyelash. And so I was able to keep that eyelash and do it all. And so then here it is. Nice up there. Go around it. And you see how I twirled it? Twirl it. Don't worry. These are not the ones you have to put in with the glue. These are her eyelashes. Guys know that's a trend now too. All right. So we went over feet. We're going over now scissor work. What's our time? Oh, wait. We're over. We're already over. Okay. Anybody have questions on positioning? We went over the handicap side. We went over ears. We went over muzzle. We went over the donut. We went over thinner and chunker. Got a face. We've got
In general, what's the best way to position yourself with the table?
table. So I'm doing this to show you guys. It's clearly like I feel like I'm going to fall off. There's a lot of factors I have to watch here, right? Normally, when I'm going, as far as positioning with the table, I'm walking around the whole time. I'm a mobile pet groomer. I can only do this view. That's a tough thing. So what I've learned being mobile is that means I got to get her up, and now I've got to start working around her. I can only move left, and I can only move right. And then I have a mirror to mirror back what I'm doing. So what I've been able to do is just keep moving the dog around. Keep moving the dog around in revolution. They don't need anything. If I can't go to the front and I need to groom her this way, not a problem. Because now I'm going to say, okay, from the back, now look at the hand. She's going to back up on me like that. She was doing it before. So look at, instead of overdoing, I'm not touching this, look at her backing up. You know, let her know I'm not going to have that. And we're talking. There's a whole conversation going on right now here. And so it's a quiet conversation. If I get fidgety, now, not being able to move in position, go up, steady, give her what I want. There it goes. Now, hold her head to the side, and now from the top. All the way down. So if I have to keep doing it this way, no problem. There goes the side of her leg. And as you can see, once I went this way, it's actually more comfortable. This is the way I normally groom versus the corner of the table to present. It is easier. Now, in the front, you see my hand? Hello. Bring her back just like this. And then I have right over here, my shoulder and my elbow on her butt area. So I'm really engaged in this. I love the belly bands. I love all the tools. But if you don't need to use them and you don't have them, use your body. Up here, bend that foot back. And I'm able to comb the back of her foot and cut right here. No problem. Look at the back of her foot this way and cut this way. Like I said, and now I'm able to bevel out on that foot. If you could see, I could take it and just bevel right out and not cut into the foot. There we go. And just from standing here, you could see now I've gone into right over here on this side. So I'm going to move her and say, okay, I will go in here. Notice the shape. Notice we started with the foot. Using the curve. I'm allowing this shear to do the work. I'm just the guider, right? I allowed that Tesla to drive me yesterday. I just guide it, right? We're getting to the point where the car could drive itself. That's not going to happen with our industry. We're not going to have a shear that's going to move on the dog. And you laugh, but we think about these big corporations that are coming or whatever. Those are good things. They're not going to take us out, homies. We're the ones. Nobody could do this. The groomer versus the pet parent and then the distributor tool maker. It's all one conversation. My main job to get to you guys, and the reason why they bring me in is to say, groomer, distributor, pet parent, all works together. It's one conversation. All right? And that's where it all gets really cleared up. So I'm good at crossing those lines over. Do you guys have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? As far as distribution, picking things, pet parents, making choices, qualifying. Went through a lot. Qualifying clients. What makes you feel good? Yes?
I have a question that's kind of off topic.
Yeah?
How would you compare blades and shears though?
Oh, beautiful. Somebody asked me, they says, oh, I see you online and you have a beautiful blue bottle. That's just a fancy glass bottle that has regular alcohol in it. So what I do is I brought it today. I can't be without, usually a microfiber towel. This is my hotel towel. It's the same thing, no problem. It's going to clean. Open up your shears just as such, right? Got hair in here. Take it, one blade, top blade. And the main place where it grabs is right in here. So you want to be able to, you can sit, Mia, good girl. Clean in here, open it up, in the back, clean right in here as well. Once it's clean, that's it. Think of it as a road. It's ready to go. Now what does it need? It needs a dollop of oil right here, right over here, and on the other side. Close it. Now we have gas. We're cooking with all the things we need, and then proceed, right? No. You have to make sure your seatbelt's on tight, right? You have to make sure your tires are on tight, all the things. You have to make sure that this shear is also adjusted properly. That's another part of it, right? Quick on the adjustment of the shears, and we're going to end there, guys, because I want to keep you here all day long. How do you know? You're going to laugh about this, right? You have a partner here. How do you bring the best person home to be the one? When's the one? So we're looking for the one as far as tightness. There, is it? I'm going to show you. There's keys for this. There's a lot of different things that you can, right here is your fastener. You can do it with your fingers, or you can do it with your hemostat, or you can do it with a key. A lot of scissors come with things. Now, if you have a shear that's coming in like this, right? It's coming in hot. I'm going to show you. And you see this, we'll equate it to a person. Hey, real quick. Oh, it's dizzy. It's jiggling. It's round. And you're like, yeah. You're like, come on. I want to cut that dog. Ooh, ooh. You're like, whoa. You cannot go home to see my mom. You're a little too crazy, a little too loose. Whoa. This is not the one. Too much. Wow. Wow. Too fast. We don't need that. That's not marriage for quality. Then you just bring it in and you're like, okay, to tighten it up. That wasn't the right one to bring home to mom. Got a lot of complaints. Grandma wasn't happy. And you're like, all right, I'm really going to bring in the stellar one today. And you go like this. And you go, oh, uh-oh. What happened here? This is too tight. They're not answering jokes, questions. Nothing's happening. It's awkward. They're sitting there like a Mormon. You're like, oh. And it's, oh, it's not working. There's friction there. It's not fluid. It's really tight. You even have the oil in. You bought the best pie. You put the best eyelashes on, and it's not working. You have no, and then you say, all right, this was too loose. This was too tight. And you could feel it. You could just feel it. You're just going to get into it. You know every family function is going to be like that. Horrible. And then you say, wait a minute, you find the right sweeter and you go, ooh, yes, this one's good. And it feels just right. It's a feeling. A lot of big part of what we do is a feeling. Feeling when we're brushing. It's a feeling when we're bathing. Feeling the knots out. Remember what I told you about the dirt. To get into really planting and being a good gardener, a good artist, you have to get into the base of the canvas, to the tools, and then create. Same here. If you don't have your hands to really feel what's, she didn't really get into it, feel what's going on with this coat, then what are you doing, right? You have to have, when you're bathing, one hand is on the froth, the other hand is saying, oh, you got a mat underneath here. You're touching your canvas and you're going, I noticed this dog's underarms weren't gutted. So I said, I'm not going to gut them because there's a reason why they're not. So I am really looking at my canvas, feeling it through, working it through on the prep. Then coming back and saying, oh, she doesn't like this, she doesn't like that. So I'm completely prepared and present at the same time. Then when my tools come, I'm making sure that I'm charged, I'm oiled up, right? Because some clippers need more oil than others because they work differently, right? Whereas I use the brakes on a gas engine, that Tesla, it was like decelerate. I'll do it myself. Just press me when I really need it. Different. So what I really want to impress upon you today is keep with the basics, but run with the different trends and understand where we're changing in our industry. Wide blades versus regular blades. They need oil. They also need drives that can hold them and hold them for a long amount of time. So if you're trying to put a wide blade on a 5-year-old clipper, good luck to you. It's going to be burning out every 5 seconds, stopping. It's not going to be able to handle it. This clipper was made to handle this level of grooming all day, every day, without a cord. Then it has its friends, the clipper combs. Then we have our friends, the combs. Do you see how we have a lot of, like music? We have the hi-hat, the snare, the bass. We have the drums. And all together, when you sit down for that performance, when that dog comes out of that gate, what do we see? A perfectly crafted song, a symphony. And it's everything, every hit that we got, and there it goes presented. All right? So there it is, guys. Basics. We're a little over, but does anybody have any questions? I'm here for you. Okay, where do you get all these tools? www.groomerspro.com. That's where you go to get the tools. Wait a minute. Somebody bring this catalog up to me. I'm going to tell you another thing that I always get Marco about. When I ever worked in the booth, you guys know, like I said, we're in an age of everybody wants something quick. There's no more je ne sais quoi. There's no more foreplay. There's no more get me into it. I went and I worked at this booth and I said, come on, man. Who is doing a catalog like this? He's doing it. He said, some people still want to see, people still want to have it in their drawer. They want numbers, they want information, they want data. Maybe it's not digital. And everybody laughs at Marco because he does this, but I don't. I say to him, this is amazing. It was so impressive to me that he had every single thing that he offers in this one book. And it's not cheap. Bound. You got the good paper. He's got the He got the good stuff. And so this is why it's my honor to be on this stage. Best table out there, in my opinion, right now. Flippable top, dual memory, all the way down. It picked me up. It brought me down. I never had a fear in the world. You guys saw it. It happened live. And I will tell you, when you have a quality distributor that really cares, I'm jealous that I don't live here and that I can't just walk in here and get what I want. You know, because each day, when you know you have a different kind of canvas to work on, maybe you want something different and you order and you can't feel and you touch. But you guys could do that today. You can test it, you can touch it, you can talk to me. So happy grand opening to you. Thank you to Natures. Thank you for everybody that came. Those of you who didn't come and left me flat, you just missed the best seminar of the rest of the year. Here it is. But you on live. .com, correct? www.thegroomhouse.com. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my friends, for recording it and being here.